New
So,
Year's!
Yay! I was going to say, where were we? But nothing of value was said in the
We
first 5
found
minutes
out
of the
about the
show,
ball,
so-
though. We learned.
Yeah, we looked up
Googled it.
where the ball actually
Oh,
came from.
okay.
Wait,
Let's talk about the balls.
Okay, so ships used clocks for navigation back in the 1700s. They would
Okay.
chart the time of actual sunset and compare it to the time of sunset back in London, and that would tell them their longitude. The problem was setting their clocks. They had to be as accurate as possible, so in harbors, they had a ball on a flagpole, and it would fall down the pole at exactly a certain time, like 7 o'clock, and then all of the ships would set their own clocks the second that the ball dropped.
Right.
So since then, balls sliding down flagpoles have been symbolic to mark momentous occasions like the New Year, based on time.
Well, I like how that is the simple yet stupidest thing. Like, it's a momentous occasion. Drop a ball down
Drop
a flagpole.
ball!
Drop the balls.
But yeah, the ball that is dropped in Times Square is like shiny and crazy and huge. It's dumb, and people literally stand there for an entire day waiting for that thing. I don't understand.
And having seen it, I know that there's no place to go to the bathrooms. Places won't let you in. There's those porta potty things, but after, I don't know, 10 hours, I feel like that's the last place you want to be.
Yeah.
And everyone gets more and more drunk and just sits there, and it seems like a horrible place to be. I don't know why you would want to go to Times Square during New Year's.
I don't even like
awful.
leaving my
Don't even
home
understand.
on New Year's when I'm in a normal place.
No,
Like,
why would you?
everybody's just drunk and crazy. I don't
Yeah,
want to
that's the one time of
know
year I
what
don't want to be around people. I'm okay with any other time, but that time they're silly, and they do silly things, and I don't want to be near them when that happens.
Yeah.
Did you know other things are dropped? Like in
The bait.
New Brunswick, Canada, a maple leaf is dropped. In St. George, Bermuda,
I'm sorry, a maple leaf? That
maple
seems
leaf, a red maple leaf.
ineffective. In England, a packet of Monster Munch is dropped. That's about as
The
effective as
children-
maple
the
leaf,
children
Canada. What
fight
the hell?
over it.
What the hell are you doing, Canada? What's wrong with you?
In Bermuda, they drop a Bermuda onion covered in Christmas lights.
What?
Oh, Bermuda, right near the beach, boy.
Fuck is wrong with you?
In Florida, a 200-pound tangerine is dropped.
Hang on.
What?
Where do they find a 200-pound tangerine? Really?
Oh, wait.
Steroids, just hormones pumped into that thing.
That was until 2009. They don't do it anymore. I guess they ran out of 200-pound.
About tangerines. But we dug into the government's backup supply of 200-pound tangerines.
Yeah, all those ones that we genetically modified for when the world ends.
Indeed.
We dropped all of them.
It's like, this is basically chemical warfare.
Only in America is this thing. So in Georgia, they drop a peach. Right? So in
Right.
every state, they drop something different.
What do they drop in Oregon? The beet. They drop.
Oh my God!
They
in
don't.
Seaside Heights, New Jersey,
All right.
they dropped Snooki. They literally took Snooki from the Jersey Shore and lowered her like a ball.
That's really funny.
There you go. There you go.
She's kind of their mascot now.
That's a horrible thing. I wouldn't want to live there if that's what's representing me.
In Elmore, Ohio, they dropped a sausage. What is that?
This is the dumbest.
In Lancaster, Pennsylvania, they raise a red horse.
Oh.
Gotta be
Going against the
edgy.
Going against the flow, Lancaster.
How contrarian of them.
In Hilton Head, they drop a lighted golf ball.
What? None of this makes sense.
This is all dumb.
Maybe I need to live there.
This is stupid.
It's oh, here's the thing though. Everyone's like, Americans, you're crazy. Hold on. We'll find out what the rest of the world does.
Not
do you do, rest
that,
of the world?
mostly. We just
so
drink
here's-
and fight. Like, that is the best that we can come up with.
Here's the thing.
And of course
I
we
went to
have
look at the rest of the world.
the hootenanny. Vitally important.
Yeah, Jesse?
I looked at the rest of the world and what they did. Apparently, very few other countries actually drop anything. I was going to give you guys shit. Apparently, you're much smarter than us. So,
Yes.
whatever.
We sit at home, drinking, eating shortbread, and watching Jules Holland's annual hootenanny on TV. Which is, I might add, awesome. Jules Holland is
Annual Hootenanny.
Yeah, it's an annual Hootenanny. It's great. Like, he just gets a ton of musical guests, and they just play music and talk bullshit for like 3 hours. It's actually
Hootenanny was like a weird old-timey American word. Is it not?
They pretty much stole it from Scotland. Like, Hootenanny is often associated with America, but that's not actually true. It's a Scottish word meaning celebration or party, and is mostly closely associated with Hogmanay, which is the Scots New Year's celebration, which also involves, funnily enough, drinking and fighting and setting things on fire.
Are we both on Wikipedia right now?
Possibly, yes. Apparently, the reason is that the Scots were the biggest groups of settlers in the Appalachian region of North America, and that is why Hootenanny became a colloquialism in the U.S., because they brought
Yeah,
it
man.
over.
That's where the term redneck came from.
All
All the
right,
Scottish settlers that were working in mines, they put red scarves around their necks.
there you go. It's so weird that you call Scots
There you
rednecks
go.
of all people.
They're my
but-
people.
Welcome to the Corptional Podcast. We do occasionally talk about video games. Jesse, welcome to the show.
Hello, everybody. How are you? Oh, my goodness, guys. Last week, because of the holiday, I was at my parents' house, and I was with only portable games. So I downloaded a bunch on the old iPad majig, and I ended up playing Deus Ex: The Fall.
Oh yeah, that was actually still on sale for 99 cents right now. I did buy it. I have not played it yet because I got for Christmas. I decided, well, the missus decided my iPad 2 had seen better days, so I got an Air, which is quite nice. I've got to say.
So light.
fancy.
I mean, it is quite light, I've got to say. But what impressed me about it is, as much as I think, a lot of the Apple iterations, they don't really change anything. I had an iPad 2, which means I didn't have a Retina screen. So I was running at 1024 x 768, and that's like 4 times the fucking resolution of that. So to me, that's mind blowing.
Just like,
whoa,
so pretty.
yeah.
Well, please go on.
No, by all means. I think we're talking a lot about iPad because I've actually been playing a lot on iPad the last few days as well.
I played it. It was, it's an iPad game, so you get an iPad game.
Mm-hmm.
But gameplay wise, it played very smoothly. Like, it's one of those games where you can either punch twice to move your guy ahead, or just move forward and keep moving like fluidly with your fingers. It worked really well. There's a lot of parts in the game that are really janky, where it's like you have to be very careful and either knock out a guy or whatever, and you just move forward and they turn around and they start shooting. You're like, what? It doesn't have it doesn't have the precision of what a Deus Ex game needs.
Yeah,
but it's fun. For 99 cents, what it is now, I wouldn't have bought it at whatever the normal price is, like $14 or whatever it was.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, not worth. But for the holiday, it was 99 cents, and I was like, I'm in. I'll try it. I finally started beating all the other games that I had, like the new Frontiers, whatever that thing is, the tower defense, Kingdom Rush.
Frontiers. Kingdom Rush. Yeah, the missus was locked on Kingdom Rush for a long time. And to be fair, Kingdom Rush is actually a really good TD.
Yeah.
It was originally on PC, right? If I recall correctly?
Yeah. I know if you go online, I had to look up a few ways to beat some heroics. So I went on YouTube, and yeah, it used to be an online game. But there's Kingdom Rush, and then there's the Kingdom Rush Frontiers, which is the new one that came out I don't know, 3 months ago, whatever it was. That one's really, really fun. And then I downloaded, but I haven't had a chance to play it yet, is Republic.
Yes.
Which is that Kickstarter game that is now
Republic. Indeed.
It looks very much like it would be a Deus Ex style game. But again,
it is stealth, mostly.
Yeah, the fall had some. I mean, I beat it. It was really fun, and it's one of those things that, like, we promise more in the future. It's been a while since that came out. I don't think we're gonna get any more. Maybe.
No.
But it's okay. I mean, it was an okay game. I was hoping for more, but it's an iPad game, so what the hell do you expect? And then, I'm trying. Oh man, I played so many. I got the old DS out and played the Ace Combat game. I can't remember the name of it right now, but the 3DS Ace Combat game, guys.
The Assault Horizon game? Yeah.
It's not Assault Horizon. It's something different.
I think it is Assault Horizon.
Is it Assault Horizon?
Yes.
It's Ace Combat 3DS.
Yes.
Assault Horizon Legacy.
Oh, come on, really? You gotta do that to me. Ugh.
I know. Anyway,
Asshole.
guys, it's way better than Assault Horizon. It's way better than Ace Combat 7 was. Guys,
Ace Combat 7 is not a real thing. That Assault Horizon is Ace Combat 7.
Oh, 6. I mean 6. I'm sorry.
No fucking way is it better than 6. 6 was incredible. You kidding me?
6 had no story. 6 had no
Yeah,
story.
it did. It had the same story as every other Ace Combat game ever.
It had those stupid kids in the bus, and like it had like we're
Dance with the angels, mister!
Dance with the angels, mister! That was the stupidest plotline ever.
It was all the other ones were dumb, right? Here's how every Ace Combat game goes, storyline wise.
Excellent game.
No,
Ace Combat 0 was fantastic.
Well,
Ace Combat 4 is a legendary game. And
but they all had the same plot. All of them had the same plot. It's like this little innocent nation is for some reason invaded entirely by air. By huge, big imaginary nation, you start to fight back, you start to liberate areas of it, and then huge-ass fucking space plane comes in for like 10 missions. You're chasing this thing down, also
Ace Combat 5 is the plot of the movie Sum of All Fears, where it's the fake Russia and fake America go to war with each other, but it's the fake Germans that started it all. And the fake Germans are like, oh, they'll nuke each other now. That's the plot of...
but I bet there's a giant space plane. Isn't there a giant space plane in 5?
There is, but it's only one level.
Told you there's a giant space plane.
One level. And then at the end, you have to shoot down a giant satellite before it hits the Russian capital.
See, in every Ace Combat game.
But with that said, the more recent Ace Combat games, what I'm getting at is they went away from story and like controlling your teammates to now we're gonna make it super intense fake dogfighting, which is fun. But after a while, you're just like, oh my god, it's the same thing over and over again.
DFM does get a little samey, I gotta say.
Yeah. This Ace Combat was actually really, really fun. I was really surprised that a 3DS combat game was like, I was like, holy crap, all right, I'm in. So my hat's off to them. Although I did tweet the Namco guys and was like, you know what'd be great this year, 2014? Ace Combat 450 HD remake of the entire, like, that entire storyline that goes over those games. Guys, make it happen. Everyone tweet at Namco Bandai and be like, guys, make it happen.
I've never played an Ace Combat game.
Holy shit, you're missing out on life. Play Ace Combat 5.
So
I gotta say,
it'll change you.
like Ace Combat, even all the Ace Combat portable games are actually pretty good. Ace Combat X was the first one on PSP, and then there was Ace Combat, I think it was like X2 or something, which was joint operations, which was a little bit weird, like, but it was still pretty good and had a really good soundtrack. And then you have the one on DS, which is also pretty good too. So yeah, you can definitely do it on portable. I mean, it's always going to be the same game regardless. So yeah. Yeah,
the Ace Combat games are basically fighter pilot games with really great story. Like it's one of the things they were known for. And so by the end of it, if you
don't have a
level,
great
like,
story, they're cheesy as fuck. Come on.
Oh, that's what makes it so great. They're good. Actually, Ace Combat Zero story was kind of cheesy. But it was so much fun.
You're a fighter pilot sounds so boring.
It's not. It's so good.
So boring, you guys.
So good.
There's a lot of talking. There's like a lot of talking. While you're in the air, there's a lot of combat chatter, which makes it kind of interesting.
Ace Combat 5 is basically an anime. If you wanna, I'm not joking. It has all the major anime actors in it. Like literally if you watch any anime in the last 10 years, someone from it is in Ace Combat 5. Okay. It's basically anime the plane game. It's really
anime, the plane game.
Ignoring the fact that there are actually several plane-based animes that they could have had.
That's true. That's true.
Which actually made worse games. I think it was, what was it? There was
most anime
Sky something Innocent
Aces
was one of them, and that ended up being terrible. Sky Crawlers. It was actually an arcade flight sim on the Wii, which I believe was actually based on the anime, although it could have... No, never mind. There was a manga based on the game, which then became an anime. Japan, you are so strange. Like, the game wasn't any good to begin with. Why did you even do that? But it was an interesting idea, anyway. Because it was this sort of... It was a kind of weird old history thing with propeller planes that also inexplicably looked strange, so...
I think Swedish hold lady has it right. The story, especially in Zero, isn't really that great. But by the end of it, you feel like such a badass.
That's what Ace Combat does, in a nutshell.
When the music starts up and the last level always has...
Oh.
then you just get disconnected. Hi, what happened?
I don't know. You just like you kept going. Your sound cut out, and then you just disconnected from the call. I don't
Is
know
that
what
that
happened.
look was? That weird look was? That look that was
Yeah.
like nice, great.
On my end, it was like you were mid-sentence and you just disappeared. Like
Yeah.
no sound, no video, you were just gone. And I was like,
The internet's cut me
so
off. It doesn't
abrupt.
want to hear. It doesn't want to hear what I have to say.
so abrupt.
You know what?
You're
I'm
probably
drinking
pulling
more
the
of this-
spoiler warning thing out
Because you're a
again. That's
game changer. You're a game changer, Jesse.
I'm drinking more sparkling apple cider. Screw it. I'm done.
Martinelli's.
It's not alcoholic. I can have as much as I want.
Mm.
Mwah.
Yeah, the latest one they're making is Infinity, or Infinite, I can't remember which is a free-to-play game, but it does actually have a storyline. It's got a single-player campaign to it. I've got to say, like, Namco Bandai's monetization, particularly when it comes to Ace Combat, has not been good in the past, although I don't know, it's actually hard to argue because, like, their microtransactions are the worst. Like, they're so fucking expensive, but they're all stupid shit. Like, idol skins for your planes. Like, anime fucking idols all over. It's like defacing a perfectly good aircraft. I don't understand why you'd do that.
Why?
That's I was thinking about achievements for Xbox, because on the new Xbox One they have achievements for literally everything.
Oh yeah, it keeps coming. I was playing Killer Instinct, and it wouldn't shut up. Like, achievement. Like, I didn't do anything. This is not an achievement anymore.
If you
I'm not
want
special.
to see how achievement crazy it is, log into Netflix and start rating things. There are Netflix achievements.
Why? Rating things on Netflix you're not achieving anything.
There are the highest one is 100 ratings, and then there's one for using Netflix once every 30 days, and there's one for watching 20 episodes in a row of a TV show. Like, there's these achievements, and it's like, this is insanity.
Why?
That is crazy.
So I was thinking about it because I saw how nuts achievements are now, and I realized that if I want to get all the achievements to Assault Horizon, I literally have to, like, start just unlocking skins to planes. And I was like, that's never any fun. That's the same reason why Dynasty Warriors achievements are like, get all 7,000 warriors.
Yeah.
Like, I will never do this.
No. But that's a real
but-
achievement, though. Like, you gotta give them credit for that.
I guess.
It is, because then you can play all of the that was my favorite part of Dynasty
Also-
Warriors when I first started playing, was like, I need to unlock this guy. I need to unlock that guy. Like, just got so excited about it.
We just accept the fact that Dynasty Warriors is so hipster cool that Zelda's on board now. And everyone's gonna be like, oh, I've always loved Dynasty Warriors games. They were my favorite. No, you hated them secretly.
I still hate
Now
them.
Dynasty Warriors.
I've stuck to my motherfucking guns on this one. No, Dynasty Warriors is terrible.
Here's what's gonna happen: the Zelda one's gonna be exactly like it. People are gonna go in so
It's gonna be
hyped.
exactly the same.
It's gonna be the exact same. People are gonna be like, "Oh, it's gonna be so cool." It's gonna be the exact same thing, and I don't
game.
even care because I expected Lu Bu to show up at some point as a secret boss.
Probably.
Like, he'll show
Oh
up
my
and be
god,
like,
that would be amazing.
The final
the same
boss
voice
actually a
actor they
giant
always
chicken.
have. Oh, that'd be great.
See, that's what I wanted out of this game, was for the hordes to just be chickens. But I know they won't give me that.
No.
You know that'll be oh man, that'd be an awesome secret.
Right.
A secret level.
Yes.
Where if you whack a chicken at a certain part, and
It's just
then
like floods of chickens.
and you have to fight them off. That'd be amazing. Like, maybe it's a dream sequence. Like, Link has a dream. Link had a dream. It was of chickens.
It's really strange to see Nintendo farming out that particular license again, especially considering what happened last time they did that. Which was a long time ago. And of course, if you remember correctly, the Zelda games on the Philips CDI that
Yes.
were
Oh,
absolutely
God.
fucking terrible. So it is a little odd for them to do that. I mean, they did it with, obviously they did it with Metroid, but then Other M got really mixed opinions.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. Not a lot of fans of that. Oh well. What are you gonna do?
Good question.
You're gonna snap.
Apparently, Jess, you need to up your volume a little bit, which is unusual.
What if I do this? Look, it's
Yeah.
close to my mouth.
Yeah, we'll see. That's probably fine.
How about that? How about that, nerds?
Yeah.
Anyway, no.
else you been playing, man?
A lot of people aren't very happy about Zelda being Dynasty Warriors because they think it's a real game. First off, Dynasty Warriors games are never real games, guys.
Oh,
Those
what?
are.
Wait, hang on. Where's your logic here?
Well, it is a stress reliever. It's like a video game stress ball.
Really?
You go in murdering millions of people, and you feel really good about yourself, and then you call it a day. You're like, well, this was fun. I'm glad I killed several million Chinese guys to 1980s rock music. Like, all right, I feel good about this. And then you walk away.
All right.
And now it's gonna be like, I feel really good killing all these damn moblins. I feel good about this. In your face. And you walk away. And that's how it is. That's how it's gonna be.
Yeah.
And it's like it's the exact opposite of a game like Dear Esther. Where Dear Esther is just you walk around. This is you just spam buttons and murder millions of people with no real objective, just to murder.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, that's the big question that I have is what's the framework for that? For this game, what's going to be the framework for a Dynasty Warriors-esque situation?
I hope the cutscenes are as over-the-top silly as the ones in Dynasty Warriors games.
Oh, God, please. Just like romance stories and families hating each other and, yes.
Zhuge Liang!
The first mission will involve you Zelda slaughtering and pacifying the Yellow Turban clan. That's gonna it will happen.
Oh my god! Because the first level is good. Oh, I want to know what the stories are gonna be. Can you play as... Here's the thing: you're gonna be able to play as Ganon. Ganon will be one of the people you can play as.
Oh yeah, because you can always play opposing sides in Dynasty
Warriors. He won't be the bad
Warriors.
guy. You can play as him.
This will be his morally gray story. We'll finally get our morally gray Ganon.
They're gonna have to, in order to make it a good Dynasty Warriors game, they're gonna have every single possible character. Navi's gonna be one of the people you can play. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Yes. I just want to play as some like Gerudo Bamfs. Just rocking it hard.
Is that right?
Yeah. I want to be a Gerudo Bamf.
I'm very excited for that. But other than that, really, I mean, just playing all the usual games. Like I tried to get all the endings in Devil's Attorney, which I did. Thank you very much. Felt good about that.
Dude, Devil's Attorney is super fun.
I enjoyed that.
I like the ending where they fall in love.
Like, the actual game is maybe not that great, but it's funny. Like, the dialogue is worth playing that game for.
Yeah.
That and the theme song, the fucking 80s ridiculous theme song that's going on.
Oh, the intro is hilarious. Yeah. It's the whole damn thing is really creative, and I was like, all right. The one thing that really impressed me is the voice acting is like spot on, the best in a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really good, and like the writing is genuinely funny as well. Like the guy with the hair paranoia storyline that goes through that entire thing with that guy that gets progressively more paranoid about the state of his hair is just fantastic.
Yeah.
And I can't tell if they filmed it all with them in the same room or if it's, I mean, that's, it's good voice acting, because you can't tell if they were in the same room at the same time, because the banter between the main character and Susan, the love interest, is so spot on good. They're just like, are they next to each other? Because this is really, they're nailing this shit. And it's really, really funny, because it's like
good,
quick-witted, and you're like, this is a good game.
Yeah, all of the dialogue in that game, I never wanted to skip. Like, they let you skip it, but I never wanted to skip it.
Well, it became my aim to get the
too.
next case to hear it. That's how good it was. And you can also get it on Android, as you can see right there in the trailer. You should. Like, it's one of those mobile games that I would actually just flat out go out and say, look, just get the fucking thing. Because it's a couple of hours of really funny dialogue with a kind of neat RPG battle system involving legal skills. And it's a good few hours. It's really well produced. Like, its presentation is spot on. The writing is really, really good. You'll play it, you'll be satisfied by it, it costs like $2 or whatever, and then you just leave it and you don't go back to it, and it's great.
Yep. It was great, and I was like, screw it, I'm gonna get all the endings. I want to see what the other endings are. Still like the one where they fall in love though. And other than that, really, that's it. Although when I got back, I immediately started playing Battlefield 4 again. I think I'm addicted to that. And guys, I went to a map, got an anti-aircraft vehicle, went 16-1, and I'm now in two. I'm in the second rank in the world for anti-aircraft vehicles. My goal is to get one, because it's literally the easiest thing in the world. You just sit way in the back, and anyone flies, you shoot their ass down. You're like, they're dummies. I shot them down. And so finally, they got so mad. Some guy was like, screw you, anti-aircraft guy. And some guy was like, get bent, Jesse Cox. And I was like, yeah. And then they all started to come at me. They all started to run at me because they would go behind enemy lines just to find me. And because the anti-aircraft also has machine guns, I just gunned them down because I was in an open field and just saw them coming because my anti-aircraft gun has heat sensors on it. So I can sense whenever you're near me, dummies. So I can see you running even if you're trying to hide. Oh, it was so great. It was so great. And I just sat there.
You're one of the people who are fortunate that it actually works for, because that game's had a lot of problems the last few weeks. There was a patch that completely broke SLI, that completely ruined the performance. So, like, it really is hit or miss whether you can actually play it.
Here's the thing. I totally agree with that. And I don't know why, but for right now, it's working for me. When it was working for everyone else, I couldn't log in to save my life. Now that no one can get in, I can get in just fine. I'm like, yeah. It's welcome to Origin. Origin works when it works and doesn't when it doesn't. You just got to deal with it.
It's just, I mean, the game in general.
Recently, though, too. We had I shouldn't say that. Now it's jinxed us.
For months, Dead Space didn't work, and we couldn't get it to work. And then all of a sudden, just one day was fine. We're like, what is happening with this thing?
When is this going to fall apart?
Battlefield really is just a broken piece of shit at the moment. Like, I'll go back to it probably when they've released all the expansions for it and when they fix the fucking stuff, because I cannot be bothered. There are many other games I'd just rather play that actually work right off the bat than saying, well, I'm going to flip a coin and see whether or not I get a game today that doesn't spawn me under the ground in invisible water. You know,
yeah.
I could do without that.
That's how I took one of the bases in a game. Is I got spawned underground.
You motherfucker.
Rather than kill myself, I just sat there the entire game, and every time someone would take it and they'd leave, I just retake it back. And I was like, I'm getting points. F you guys. It was great. I went
you're
and got
the
a
worst
drink and
person.
back down.
Oh my god.
Worked great for me.
Dodger, what have you been playing this week?
I played Rock Band for the first time yesterday.
Wait, whoa. You played Rock Band for the first time.
First time.
I had
Welcome
never
to 2008. It's
right, I know. That's what.
been a good year for plastic instruments.
I went to my friend's house because I had like a holiday gift that I hadn't given. And we got my friend Rusty a Survey Corps jacket from Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
And we were all talking about just like games in general.
Nerd.
Lol. And
that anime.
They were talking about Rock Band. All of them are super, super into Rock Band and like really good at it. And I was like, oh, I've never played that. And it blew their minds. So we played it. It's really fun.
Yeah.
It's like a really fun game.
Fucking fantastic. Like,
the sad part about that is all of them carried you. I want you to know that. They all carried you.
I traded off being easy bassist and medium singer. And as a singer, I got 100% every time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to ruin it for you, but you can in singing if you just go. Oh,
I noticed that. It like
you can cheat.
Yeah, it like adjusts for you. It's awesome.
I don't want to spoil it for you, but singing's not the hardest thing.
Oh, I know.
I assume it was Rock Band 3 you were playing? The latest one?
Whatever the newest one is. Yeah,
it's Rock Band 3.
Did
they have the keyboard? Did they have the guitar?
No, his old roommate kept the guitar.
Disappointing.
So they don't have it.
Of all the things to keep, the guitar was the one.
Yeah, because I guess he like plugs it into his computer and actually uses it to like do music stuff.
Yeah, you can actually do that. Like, by the time you got to the end of that, when they had the pro level guitar with all of the fucking frets on it, it could actually get to. You were basically just playing guitar or keyboard at that point.
Oh, is that like Rocksmith, where the one was like, plug in your real guitar or whatever?
It's funny you should mention that because the missus bought me a guitar and Rocksmith 2014 edition because I expressed I have not plugged it in yet. I'm going to. I'm gonna try.
I don't know what that's like so bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna try learning guitar with it. I've been wanting to learn guitar for ages. It seemed like a good time, and like Rocksmith's got incredible reviews. Like, this is a really fucking awesome thing. So yeah, I have an Epiphone special edition thingy or whatever now, and I'm gonna try and learn it. They told Jen discovered that the PC version fucking doesn't work with pro interfaces. Ironically enough,
no.
And it's like, I got you the PS3 version instead because this will literally break your PC if you plug it in. It's like, thanks! Yeah,
Glad you researched that.
Yeah, good job researching that one. But yeah, I mean, that's fine, because I've got the PS3 plugged into the TV, so I'll just play on that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing if that'll work.
I feel like we need to take a moment to enlighten some people in chat who are unaware of what a keytar is.
Okay.
Guys, a keytar is like the ugly stepchild of a piano and a guitar.
Go Google it.
Or a
We're
keyboard.
on the computer right now.
Keyboard and a guitar put together. It was popular in the 80s, and it was for like synth music, like. Yes, that's what it was used for.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
Synth sounds.
Look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But played Rock Band and completely lost track of time and didn't get home until like 2 a.m. because it was very, very fun.
Yeah, it really is.
I also, on the stream, speaking of Attack on Titan, on the stream, we played the Attack on Titan browser game.
Oh, that thing? Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's so weird. You play like a little chibi version of all of the main characters, and then there are just giant fluorescent baby titans that are just like walking around. And you, in the very first level, it's just like a lot of shapes. There's just like no detail whatsoever, but in the other levels they actually detail it, so you feel like you're in the city, and then you can scale the walls. It's really hard though because you can control your maneuver gear, but there are different buttons for like each side, and you can pull yourself through hallways, but you have to be aware of like what it's attached to. And I did cut through a Titan's face though and kill it, and I felt very anime. It was wonderful. So we played that for a while. I've been playing a lot of TF2 again, getting back on that train, which I need to just become the best heavy in the world. That's what I want.
That doesn't take too much effort.
You got a long way to go.
I love it so much. I love that game so much. And what else did I play? Always Remember Me. And I'm back on the Zookeeper battle train.
Oh my God. Walk away.
No, it's updated. No, look, it's different now. It's so great. So like in the time
I deleted it from my phone. I deleted it from even my history of downloading it. I don't want to even look at it.
Okay, so now you can play the games, right? But then you also have My Zoo. And if you click on your zoo, you can like populate a zoo, and some people want a cool zoo and some people want a cute zoo. And when visitors come, you can click on them and you get points. And if you get enough points, then you can fight like evil animals that are in your zoo. And it's awesome. And they made it a lot easier for you to get items to like decorate your battle space, which always frustrated me because everybody's battle space looked so much cooler than mine. And now my battle space like looked cool immediately.
Yeah.
Zookeeper battle. So good. It's so good. God, what else have I, like all the stuff on the stream? I don't know. Just stuff, guys. Stuff.
She had a wonderful live stream. She did. She earned $20 billion for charity.
I did earn $20 billion. We don't know what the full, we did a 24-hour live stream. Jesse was there for a little bit and played Volgar the Viking and brought us breakfast, and that was wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Dodger said dick jokes aren't funny. I beg to differ.
No, I didn't say dick jokes aren't funny.
She did.
How far did you
guys.
get in Volgar the Viking anyway?
Oh no, it was so damn early. We got stuck on the second level, and then I got mad, and they're like, "Let me try," and they just died even more. So I was like, "We're done, Volgar."
It was so much fun though to just watch Jesse just be like, "I hate this game. I hate this game so much." Like, just get so angry with it.
There's another game out right now that if you like Volgar, it's called Altianius, A Tale of Petty Revenge. Mm-hmm. It is basically Volgar but in space. And you are this big-breasted space lady, but it's all like 32, 16-bit, whatever it is. And the music's done by Jake Kaufman, who you should know from a lot of games. He does really, really great music. And it is basically just Volgar in space, but with a laser gun. And it's really hard, and you're just like, I hate you so much. It's the exact same thing.
I'll have to try it.
It's really, really
I brought
fun.
it up. It's in a tab now for whenever we're done. But yeah, we at the end of the stream, like the very end of the stream, we had raised 27,000, which means we could give 9,000 to each of the charities, which is cool. Yeah. I don't know how much extra money I made off of ads or t-shirts yet, so I'll give like an actual final number when I know all of that. But I think it was a great success. I was very happy.
Delightful.
that. And I got home and passed out. It was great.
I feel sorry for Gerard. Gerard stuck with you for a long time and passed out an hour before the stream ended.
I know. He woke up and he was like, "Is it over?" And I was like, "Yeah, Gerard, it's over." And he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go home." Like, grabbed all of his stuff and just left. And I was like, "Bye." Yeah, it was just Jeannie and I at the very end there. Jeannie slept though too.
You didn't. You were very grumpy by the end of it.
I was so grumpy.
You were a grumpy
point.
puss.
I was just
is
like,
what you were.
I'm so tired.
There were moments where your grumpness, you became very grumpy.
You know.
Look.
I felt bad.
The fact that you would deny the awesomeness of a dick joke, that is unlike you. That is unlike you, ma'am.
You were just making lots of woman jokes, which you do, and I said you need some new jokes, Jesse, and then you got very sad and talked about blowjobs for like an hour. So.
And note, you got donations. So
I did get donations.
I mean, everyone's a winner on that one.
Fans like what the fans like.
Apparently.
We hit
my mom does too, because when Dodger told me off, my mom was like, "I like her. She's like the daughter I never had."
Hi, Mama Cox.
Anger.
So the stream went very well, and I wanna try. This year is gonna be the year of streams. I've decided.
Yep.
That's one of my resolutions. I'm gonna stream way more because once a year is not enough to be streaming.
No, it probably
ready
isn't.
for when YouTube shuts down permanently, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
We got
2014. It's when it ends.
Yeah,
It's all coming to an
that's
end.
it. There won't be any more YouTube anyway, so. Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to stream more in 2014 if possible. I was thinking of.
You already stream a lot, right?
I don't stream that much. Like, aside from the podcast, I'll stream like maybe twice a month, if that. Like, there'll be
really?
like random StarCraft out of nowhere, but I'm also talking about other stuff that isn't StarCraft related.
Right. It shocked me. I was talking with JP, and JP was saying he streams every day, like pretty much every day, and I'm just like, that is so much streaming. Like, I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah, it's pretty much like what he does for his livelihood, so it's to be expected.
But there's a very big I think streaming has its place in that you can do it, be done with it, and move on with your life.
Right.
And unlike when you record something for YouTube, like yesterday, for example, I recorded a video and I went to upload it and I watched it and I was like, well, the audio's out of sync. Cancel upload, re-render, wait another 2 hours. Right. And it was like, if I just stream, I don't have to do all that stuff. And I think that's why, even though it seems like every day that's a lot of work, really, if you have the rapport with your audience, you don't really need to worry about it, because you can just say, we're going to play a game, guys. Let's have some fun.
Yeah.
Sure.
And you record it, and then you can upload it to YouTube, and
I think you can do it.
It's done.
I think you should do more. I think you should do more and play games on it.
What?
Don't be a streamer you sit there and talk to people. Don't do that. Don't do that, Dodger.
Okay.
I know you want to do that.
Okay.
No, don't.
Don't do that.
Do actual things for your money. That's all we're saying, you know.
I'm going to.
Do actual
fair.
things for your money.
Indeed.
Shit, Kitty. You're giving me shit. Why does your face smell like food? What did you get into?
I ate your food, lady.
What did you get
Happy
into?
holidays.
Yeah.
Well, that is really sad and weird.
It's just like trying to
It's a little depressing, isn't it?
That is a story of Dodger's relationships. She squeezes men tight, and then
You ate my food! And then they leave.
get away.
All right. That will be exciting, I'm sure.
They reach for help.
Somebody to save me.
TV,
what have you been doing this week besides getting amazing Christmas presents?
None
like
of
a guitar?
those things, apparently. No, not at all. But what have I been doing aside from bitching at Twitch for not doing their jobs properly? That's fine. The VOD is fine for YouTube, so whatever. We'll restart the stream during the break. But I've mostly been playing iPad stuff. And let's see. Let's have a look. What have I been doing? I've been mostly playing that conversion of Steve Jackson's Sorcery, which was the old Gamebook series, if you recall correctly.
Okay. How do you play it on the iPad?
They made an adaptation of it that is actually very, very good. Before that, they released a whole bunch of the Fighting Fantasy books, but they weren't that great. Like, the conversions were pretty bad. They just basically ported the book, right? Which sounds fine, but with Sorcery, they actually made it into basically a real game, essentially. They took the words from the book, but they presented them in a different way. So, probably the best way to do it would be just to try and show you. So, you get this game map right here. Which will show you where you are. And you've got all of your kind of items and things you can do down the bottom and all these stats. And then you press onto that, and that kind of gives you the page that you're on. But they have made as much of it as interactive as possible. So in this case, this section is basically a dice game. So, you can just kind of play a dice game, which I think is kind of awesome. So, it's actually a hell of a lot of fun. And I've made my way through the first one. I'm on book 2 now, and it's pretty great. So I used to enjoy those games when I was a lot younger, but I never really got to play Sorcery. I never got to read the Sorcery books, because they were like the more advanced ones, and when I was doing it back then, I was like 6 or 7. They had these interesting rules in them involving all sorts of crazy stuff. But I've got to say that actually this has been quite a lot of fun. And I've enjoyed
the reviews. The reviews are through the roof on this game.
It's really well implemented. They only show the bits of the book that you need to. Like, the old ones just showed you a fucking page. It's like, read all this shit. In that case, what they do is they pace it out. So they take, like, a paragraph, and then they'll do something else on the screen, then show you another paragraph that's like... And they'll only show you what's absolutely relevant. So they took the book and made it a really good sort of choose-your-own-adventure game. The fighting system in it is a bit basic. The way that the fighting system works involves a sort of a power bar, and you try and guess what the other guy's power is going to be. So you have to overwhelm them, which is okay. It's a little bit random. I guess it's just a way of them kind of replacing the dice-based system. And then there's this weird magic system which involves spelling out magic using 3 different letters in this kind of letter cloud thing. And different magic applies to different things. You can only use certain magic if you have... I don't know. It's interesting. I like it a lot. I think it is definitely a lot of fun.
I like this review. This game is so well written, it makes me angry.
What?
He's like, the BioWares and Bethesdas of the world have clearly regressed from what was done by a single writer in the 1980s.
Yeah.
This guy is pissed that this game's so good.
Apparently.
Wow.
We should all write reviews.
We should.
This game makes me so angry.
Yeah, definitely an interesting time for that, because if you don't know, a couple of days ago, someone managed to hijack my Twitch account. And they streamed old school RuneScape, which is definitely one of the weirder things to stream. It's like, if you get control of like a really big Twitch account, you probably want to do something that isn't old school RuneScape. They got about 5 minutes of it, and then Twitch killed the account. So that was a bit weird.
Yeah,
I think it was actually my own fault. I was using a shitty password that I only used to use on really, really old forums.
Yeah.
And probably one of those got compromised. So, like, well, I'm a dumbass. I probably should have picked a better password. But yeah, never mind. All right. Well, things are going fine for the moment. Anyway, yeah, so there's Sorcery. Okay. What else? I played, it was just a couple of other iPad games. I have Deus Ex, but I didn't play it. I got Infinity Blade 3, and I'm just like, fuck this. It's the same as the last two. I was actually really looking forward to Infinity Blade Dungeons that they announced a while ago, but then they cancelled that and just made another Infinity Blade game. And they're all exactly the same. What I hate more, in fact, is the idea that a lot of games are starting to clone Infinity Blade. Like, the Batman game was very similar to Infinity Blade, and there's a whole bunch of really bad Infinity Blade knockoffs. And I played Infinity Blade 1, it was like, oh, cool. You know, at the time, there wasn't really anything that graphically impressive on the iPad. And then they released 2 more Infinity games that were exactly the same. So,
I mean, I guess, like, you could argue that that's what people want.
maybe. I mean, you know, Infinity Blade 1,
True.
2, and I assume 3 sold very, very well, so...
Yeah.
I guess that's a definitely... That's certainly a good enough reason to just do a beep, 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 beep. But
Yeah. No, it's a very mindless, pretty looking game.
yeah, it
That's why I
definitely is.
like
And
it.
they did this
Mindless.
nice little animated story trailer, which I liked a lot. That was pretty good. But
That's because they did, and this is a problem that I have with that game and Blizzard games now, and a lot of companies with their games, because they're so desperate to get an expanded universe of books and comics and cartoons or whatever.
yeah,
All the plot elements are in the expanded universe, and when the game comes out, they are like, "Here's something that we expect you to know.
yeah.
Get on with it."
And the
That's
storyline
like-
for Infinity Blade's always been a little strange anyway. So
Yeah, and they go as far as to say you would have to have needed to read the Infinity Blade books, which I
Yeah.
guess are more like short stories, in order to figure out what's happening in this one. And I was like, all right, maybe I'll go do that. Luckily, they're online, so I can just look it up. But still, it's like, I want to know what's happening in the game that I'm playing. It aggravates me to no end that I have to do that now. That's what pissed
Yeah.
me off about Kingdom Hearts.
yeah,
Where I was like, Kingdom Hearts 2, I'm like, I have no idea what's happening in this game right now because I had to have played the 3DS game or the DS game. Like, that angers me. I know how to keep your stories where your stories need to be, people. Stop trying to put them all over the place. Drives me crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
You can see in the trailer that's in the background that they did do a lot of stuff outside of the combat, and they really varied that up. There's like crafting and this kind of weird match 3 stuff going on. But the combat is the same, like, and it wasn't very interesting to begin with. You know, Infinity Blade was really more of a tech demo more so than anything else. As a game, it was not that entertaining, in my honest opinion. But
Well, yeah, I mean, it's another one of those games where it's very simple to play, but it's meant to make you feel like you're really cool, right?
Yeah.
You're just like, yeah, I'm
Until it
killing
starts-
that guy.
Until you get to the point where it starts beating you down because there's no way you can beat certain bosses.
you've got to really
without-
grind for the items in order to make that
Without
happen.
grinding,
Yeah, it
or
doesn't
just
matter how
paying
good you are, you still get absolutely destroyed.
Eventually, no matter what. Yeah. And it's one of those things that I don't know. It's unfortunately, the first Infinity Blade took some of my money. I'm not even going to lie. I was like, I'm just going to beat this game. It was when I was just in my phase of like, I must beat all the games that I own. That ended quickly. At the time, yeah, that was a thing for me. And I could not beat. I was like, I'm not going to keep dying and respawning over and over and over and over and over again just to beat this thing. I was like, I'm going to pay $3, get this Infinity Blade, and go just crazy on this guy. And I did. So that's how, it's one of, I don't know, it's one of those things that is easily justifiable at the time, but looking back, you're like, that was stupid as shit. Why'd I spend money on that?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wasn't too happy with that, but there was one game actually that I was quite happy with that I'm still playing, which is Colossatron: Massive World Threat.
Never even heard of that.
By the
have
guys
heard of
that
it.
make Cut the Rope, which, you know, you would think,
Oh.
this is going to be dumb. It's actually quite funny. It's a game which, oh, there it is. I was going to say it's inexplicably disappeared off my iPad. But it's a game where you are a giant space snake of sorts that is constructed of a variety. You're like a mixture of a train and a giant space monster. And you are destroying the world. You are a massive world threat. And there's all these weird news broadcasts going about, we should, surrender to the new world threat. And you are this world threat. And it's got this match 3 mechanic. It's kind of match 3 mixed with Snake mixed with tower defense. And you just build this gigantic fucking space snake that murders everything. And there's
That's amazing.
and you go up against General Mustache, who just brings out amazing American super weapons to try and kill you. It's actually kind of great.
Is it on Android?
I have no idea. Yes, it turns out it is. There was Android gameplay of that put out about a week ago. So it is on Android, which is nice. It's by Halfbrick. As I say, they made all sorts of stuff, which is kind of great.
It looks ridiculous.
It's absolutely ridiculous. The animated storyboards and the ridiculous news broadcasts really make that game. You don't actually control the snake. Like, he kind of moves around on his own, but you take different colors and match them together to build different kind of compartments, which all have different weapons on them. And then you mix them together and they have different effects, and it's really hard to describe. Like, it's not really like other things. There's probably, like, Flash games that are like it, but the presentation on this is really, really good. It's a lot of fun to play. I think it's something like 99 cents. I don't think...
99 cents on Android.
I don't know what the in-app purchases are like. Like, from what I can tell, they seem to be fine, but it's hard to know. I think there might even be some rental stuff in there, so I don't know if that's going to end up being a problem later on. It might be.
Are Half Brick the Fruit Ninja guys?
Yeah, Half Brick made... Oh, yeah, it wasn't... So I guess they didn't make Cut the Rope. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, they made Fruit Ninja and a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, I keep thinking they made Cut the Rope.
They took all that Fruit Ninja money and made a game where you destroy the world as a giant snake. They're on it. They're on it. They know
I can
what
respect
the kids
that.
want.
I can respect that.
Man.
That's like, you know what? We made a bunch of money. Let's make something that we want to make now. You know?
Oh my god, you're literally just made of tanks.
Yeah, pretty much. You are a giant snake
like
train from space made of tanks.
Snake tanks.
Yeah.
Oh, and you go. It looks like you're in color coordinated order. Oh.
Yeah.
Beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that's what the match...
You're a rainbow. You're a killer rainbow.
Yeah, that's what the match 3 thing does. That's what that's all
You're
about.
a killer rainbow. Ah!
Yeah, so...
Killer rainbow. That should be their next game. You're a rainbow, and you. It's like the Leprechaun movies, but you're a rainbow instead.
Yes.
Yep. So there's that. So I played that. And the last thing that I played was actually a card game, which Dodger knows very much so. I played a shitload of Dominion.
Ooh, that's what we've been talking about all week.
Yeah.
Literally all week. TV's like, dude, Dominion is the freaking best game in the world.
Yeah, Dominion is fucking brilliant. Like, it is absolutely fantastic. And for those of you who don't know what Dominion is, it is a deck-building game. So you have a giant selection of cards. You don't buy booster packs or any shit. You have all the cards in the set. And the point is that you start off as a really shitty lord. Like, you've got nothing to your name. You've got some copper and a few shitty estates, and that's it. And the point is to win the game...
What a shitlord.
Yes, you are a shitlord, quite literally. And the point is to get the best kind of deck you can get using cards that are on the board and build that deck up. So you start off being absolutely terrible, and then you use the money that you gain to buy cards to make your deck better, and you take those cards out of a set of things like coppers, silvers, and golds, and different sizes of estate. So, like, you can buy provinces, you can buy duchies, and things like that, or colonies, and they all, like, contribute to your ability to win, but they don't really do anything themselves. So they just kind of sit in your deck accruing victory points. And then you can buy cards from a randomly selected set of 10 different kingdom cards. And they're like, you pick different ones every game, so each game is different. And there's 10 of each of these. And once they're gone, because everyone can buy from the same piles. And you try and build a deck that works well with itself. And it's really interesting. And it's a fuckload of fun. And we played so many games of that. Eventually we just took out the randomizer deck, because I have like 2 expansions for the game. Just said, let's make a random thing. And you can get a whole deck of cards. You just deal out 10, and those will be your kingdom cards for the game. And then you just play this game that has a randomly generated set of cards. It's really entertaining. And it turns out there's actually a really good online version of it.
I was just about to say, like, when I originally was playing a lot of it, all of the clients that were online were, like, weird free ones that weren't good.
Yeah.
So you were saying that there's, like, a better one now, like an official one?
Yeah, it's on Goku.com, I think, is the guys that do that. So it's...
Goku.
Yeah, it's really nicely done. It's the official one, so I think you can buy all of the expansions there for $45. The base game is free, but if you want all of the expansions, of which there's like 11 of them, you can get them for $45. Or you can just kind of buy them in bits. So it's like, oh, I just want this part of the Dark Ages expansion. Okay, pay $2 and get that bit. So it's actually a pretty good business model. It's got online mode, it's got bots, and it's actually got a story mode as well that you can play in single player. So, yeah, it's awesome. I'm going to do a video of it, I think, this week.
It's really fun. I was introduced to that game when I was really into Ascension. And
Yes.
a lot of people were like, oh, if you're into Ascension, you should play Dominion because Dominion's way better than Ascension. And I was like, no, I don't believe that. They're different. They're different enough that, like, I really love both. But Dominion, I think, requires more of your thinking, I guess.
Yeah. There's also more interaction, I feel, between the players. Like, that's something that really does not happen with Ascension. Ascension might as well be a single-player game. Because there's not enough that you can do to the other guy. Whereas Dominion has attacks, which are generally pretty good. The last couple of games we played, I got really early on, I managed to get like 2 or 3 thieves. And those are bastards. Because you play your thief, and the other guys have to reveal 2 cards from the top of their deck. If any of them are treasure, they have to put them in the trash pile, which means they lose it. But then you can take as many of those cards as you want from the trash pile, so you can steal a bunch of fucking money. But if it's not, then, you know, it's kind of a risk-reward thing. If there's no actual treasure in that pile, then you don't get anything from it. So it's interesting. You know, it's actually a really fun game. I enjoyed it a lot. Yeah, you can play it yourself. As I say, the base game is free, I believe, over on Goku.com, which is GOKO.com. And you can just sign up for an account. You play online. It's pretty great. There's supposed to be an iPad version coming out of that game, which I think would be phenomenal, but they have been saying that for years, and it hasn't actually come out yet. I don't know if you could play that. I think it's HTML5, so in theory, I think the iPad should be able to play that. But also the iPad's weird when it comes to just randomly not loading shit, so... Never know. Never know.
Word
indeed. Yeah, so that's what I've been playing. It might be time to take a short break. When we come back, we will... I actually don't know what we're going to do, because honestly, there's...
What games are we looking forward to in 2014?
We can do that, yeah, because honestly, there's no news. There's no anything, really. We'll do that, and we'll look back at some events from 2013. How about that? That sounds like a good idea. Let's do our recap. Everyone else is doing it, why won't we? And Jesse, you're suddenly super quiet for some reason. I don't know why.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
You two need to stop this right now. If you're going to do this is going to be premium content. I'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Co-Optional Podcast. If we have any further problems with the stream, we're just going to have to keep going. It's kind of strange because, as I said, everything's working fine here. So if you're watching on YouTube, you'll be like, what's wrong? Like, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Everything's fine. So, yeah, it's just the way of it. Sometimes streaming doesn't work properly, and there's not really much you can do about that. Anyway, let's get on with it, shall we? So, Jesse, you wanted to talk about things that we were looking forward to in 2014, yes?
Sure. I mean, there's plenty of things. Games, trends in the industry... Anything you're looking forward to in the future.
All right, we can do that. Well, since it's your topic, you can start off. So, anything specifically you're looking forward
to? Trend-wise, I'm hoping that 2013 was the year of, like, we're gonna try and like get all of our fanciful ideas of video games out. Like, well, we you know what? We tried to make a game that was just a story. Good for us, team. And then 2014 will be the year where actual games are made. I feel like that'd be fun.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that'd be real swell. So that'd be nice to see that in the future. I'm hoping that we can get some actual, like, I don't know, games that are. What's the word I'm looking for? TV's gone.
Don't worry about it.
Gone. I'm thinking games along the lines of ones that have a more, like, we have slowly progressed more towards looking awesome and sounding awesome, and I'm hoping that we can start getting back to story-based games without having it be just
nothing but story.
Right.
Yes, I like. There's a weird. I don't know what that's called, but there's a weird line there that we have crossed over back and forth, but we've never walked. We haven't walked there in a long time, and it's because there's just graphically we can show off all the cool things we can do.
Yeah.
And auditory wise, some of the music and the sound effects, they're amazing, but we either focus heavily on that or we focus heavily on story, and there is no, like, really good mix of the two. And when we do have a really good story, the gameplay suffers for it. And that aggravates the hell out of me.
Yeah.
And that's something that I think we should get back to. I feel like this past year we experimented with a lot of things, and we came up with some great ideas. Let's take what we learned that was good and make something great. I think is what I would like. And I already said my one thing that I dislike, and I know they're going to do more of, is try to make everything expanded universe and try to branch off into franchises rather than just a good game. Everything is a franchise now, and it pisses me off. Just make a good game.
I mean, it's been that way for so long, right? If something does well, you're like, well, but why do something new when people will buy this?
It keeps getting worse. It keeps getting worse. And it's not even people buy, let's not make something new. It's, oh yeah, no, we're going to make something new, but it's going to be the comic book, or it's going to be the, the novel, or the iPad game. Or it's like, okay, I get it. But if you're going to do this, if you're going to take new things and go different directions, make those good. Don't half-ass it. And a lot of the time it's half-assed, and a lot of the time it's really disappointing. And it's like, well, great. So that's a little bit of what I'm looking forward to this year.
Fair enough.
And maybe some Xbox and PlayStation games. I mean,
some actual video games would be nice.
If you guys want to make any, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Because
we'd appreciate that.
I mean, I don't have any, guys. I have these consoles, but there's no games for them. So, yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be real nice.
I'm very excited for EverQuest Next. I know it doesn't have a release date yet, but I think they want it to come out in 2014.
I think Landmark will be a real big success. I feel like Landmark will be huge. With definitely with all the Minecraft players, will jump on that bandwagon immediately. You know what's going to happen. I think that'll be a really great. It's weird. That game came out of nowhere and already has more hype than any other MMO coming down the pipeline, mostly because I think it's actually trying to be different. Like everything else said it was going to be different, but when you actually played it, you're like, this is Warcraft again. And no matter who tries, it's Warcraft. This one, they're saying, look, we're going to be totally different, which I think it's a fitting end to the Warcraft like that timeline. Yeah, I think it's fitting that the one that started it all, that started the craze, is indeed like retaking the throne of fandom. And I hope it does. I hope this isn't just a fleeting moment, and I hope it actually is really good. Because that'd be a fitting tribute to EverQuest for those people who never got to play it. So there you go. I think that'd be nice.
Yeah. EverQuest Next definitely looks promising, but so did Guild Wars 2. And it promises a lot, and whenever I hear anything like that from an MMO, I always have to then temper my expectation, because they'll say this, it's like, okay, well, how will that actually be implemented? And will it be implemented in a way that's actually exciting? Because maybe it won't be. The kind of promises of permanence, I like the fact that they kind of said, look, yeah, you can destroy something, but eventually, it'll go back to the way that it was. It's if you bash holes in the environment and knock shit down, it's gonna be reset. We don't know how often, but it will be reset. So the entire world won't be completely flattened, which makes sense. But what excites me is the idea that entities within the world kind of have minds of their own and do what they want to do. And that means that you can go into a forest, and instead of going, and it's like, all right, I know there's going to be a quest giver here, and there's going to be this quest. I'm going to kill 10 bears, and we're going to collect this. That it's like you go into that forest, and there might be a fucking dragon in there that just wandered in.
Right.
And why did it wander in? Because, I don't know, someone fucking kicked it out of its lair, so it had to go somewhere, right? Or, in some other area of the country, you destroyed a goblin encampment, so the remaining goblins kind of marauded across the rest of the world and looted villages and shit and set up another encampment somewhere else. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that really excites me, and it's also the kind of thing that could be as limited as possible, because it sounds a bit too good to be true.
That's what I think too.
It sounds like not EverQuest, when Guild Wars, when they talked about their system and how
dynamic events worked and things like that.
How dynamic it was going to be.
Yeah.
You can think about, oh, that sounds really cool. Like, oh, yeah, no, you beat a dragon in a lair, you do this, this. But it also could be you beat a dragon, which triggers the thing, and then the dragon paths to a certain location. He always goes to a certain location, or he goes through one of 8 paths or whatever it is, and he gets there, and then you can kill him, and then he respawns in the cave again. And that could kill the game because that's boring as balls because that's what's been done forever. And I mean, if they really want it to be something special, they have to go all out. I don't even know if computers can do that now. Like, have the capability of making it so the dragon can do whatever the dragon wants to do, and you just deal with it.
Well, within a set of parameters, it's like, all right, dragon doesn't have a cave, so dragon is going to go looking for a cave.
Right.
That seems like the kind of thing that it would do. And so it knows, all right, there are X number of caves that I could live in this particular world right now. So I'm going to wander in that direction. If I encounter X along the way, like village, I will attempt to burn it to the fucking ground. It's that kind of basic AI behavior that's predictable, but it can still result in the dragon kind of doing weirder things. Because it's worked within a set of rules, but the outcome of that was unusual. You can do that.
Well,
I mean, that's...
I think that'd be fun, because who knows? The dragon could go to a dwarven cave or maybe like a goblin cave. And so maybe you go like, I'm going to go farm me some goblins. And you walk in, and then instead there's a dragon like, what up?
Yeah, and maybe the dragon has driven the goblins out of their cave, and that's caused the goblins to do something else. That's the kind of thing that they were, when they initially announced it, that they described. Yeah. And if they can pull that off, that's going to be incredible.
I think it's like, I mean, part of it, right, is just a question of whether or not they're willing to relinquish that much control and just like set up the system and let the world do what it's going to do without panicking and being like, oh, they probably shouldn't go over there, right? Just like let the world and the community happen.
Yeah. And how do you do that while still sort of maintaining it accessibility to people? Yeah. Because obviously they want people to play it. It will help that it looks like it's going to be free, so that will help. But
that's a really fine line to walk, because when Dodge and I were playing Divinity, and we were talking to the devs of that game, we were playing it and we're like, this is really fun, but the one thing it's missing right now is you're letting us do whatever we want. Like, the whole point of the game was they were like, look, you can kill these people, you cannot kill these people, you can get quests, you can do whatever. Literally, there are many ways to complete the storyline. Enjoy, go for it.
Yeah.
And at the beginning, it's so overwhelming that you're like, I don't know where to go.
You had no idea what to do.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing. There's a line where you have to guide people, but at the same time, pretend like you're not. And give them the illusion, at least in the beginning, so they can learn how to play and learn to do things, that you're not holding their hand. Because if you throw them into a world with no sort of context, that's why like TV shows and movies do it all the time, where there's a character who is the audience. And so, like, if someone says something, the character's like, what does that mean? And then someone explains it to them. And so now everyone knows. It's same thing in a video game. You have to have someone at least guide you a little bit of the way, so then you can figure the rest of it out. Yeah. But it's one of those things in EverQuest, which I was concerned about, is they're talking about, like, we're going to make this super open, and you can do whatever, and you can have a great time. And I'm like, that's a little worrisome, because what do you mean you can do, like, what is whatever you want? But, you know, in this world, what can I do exactly? And I don't know. It'll be interesting, because then they talk about you can make buildings, but, oh, well, we'll import some buildings over. I thought they were saying originally you could make buildings in the game. And they're like, no.
My understanding is that you make the buildings within Landmark, and you can import them that way.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. So it's two entirely different systems. I'm like,
it's technically two entirely different games. Just one happens to feed the other.
So it's an interesting system, and I hope it develops into something a little bit bigger and better. But everyone keeps asking, like, are you going to play WildStar? I'm like, it's WoW. They're like, are you going to play Elder Scrolls? And I was like, it started off really, really good, and they can't find a balance. There's like, they keep going back and forth and back and forth. And I don't know what that game's going to be. I mean, I'll play it. I don't know what it's going to be, though.
So far, what I've played of Elder Scrolls Online, which I didn't play the beta, so that's the thing. But what I played of it when I was at PAX and actually, got access to everything was, it's like, this is just a worse Skyrim right now. Like, it could develop into something, but when I think about it, do I really want to explore Elder Scrolls world with other people? Actually, no. Like, that was never something I really cared about. So, I like it as a single-player RPG, and I think that it's going to suffer because it's not.
Well, that's the one thing that I think it has going for it, in that you can select how you play, and if you limit yourself to just friends, when you log in, you can just see your friends in the world. You don't have to see anybody else.
So it phases
That's the
everyone else
promise they've
out.
made. Yeah.
Hey, if they pull that off, then that'll be quite interesting.
Yeah, but the problem is then in that scenario, like it is in this weird gray area where if you want to play first person, there's no way you can PvP. You're gonna be just murdered. Like very quickly. If you want to go solo, there's a lot of content that requires people there to help you. If you like, it's this very strange gray area of we're trying to make it this and this. And at one point in time, they had it perfect, and then people, I guess, complained about changing things, so they made it more Skyrim-esque. And then people were like, well, this is an MMO, so they tried to bring it back. And it's
that's
just
the problem.
back
It's like there's
back.
different groups of people that want different things from the game, and if you try and do it for everybody, it's going to end up being an absolute waste of time for everybody. You're not going to please anyone completely. So you're better off coming up with your vision and sticking to that fucking vision and saying, this is a buyer's market. There's plenty of other MMOs you can play. If you don't like the way we're doing things, then, cool. You can go play another game that does it differently, but this is how we're doing it, because this was our vision in the first place. If you compromise too much, you will end up ruining it for everybody.
Yeah, I can see why it's, like, terrifying, though, to put that much money and time into something and be like, I guess a bunch of people won't play it then.
It's like, oh, no. Yeah, and that's especially the case with subscription-based models, which they are going to be doing. So you gotta keep that subscriber base up if you can. If they set themselves up with a nice 1 million subscribers and they kept them for more than a fucking month, they're probably in a good spot. They're making a decent amount of money, and if they can keep them, then they'll be great. You don't have to be WoW size to be successful. But the problem is that most of those games, like, say, the Old Republic, the subscription count plummeted after the first month, and that game cost so much money that they would have had to have WoW levels of success in order to actually pay for that game. So that's why it became free-to-play in record time, because they were like, shit, this is not going to work.
And that's, again, I think that we are on the end of the MMO. I mean, it's pretty obvious. MMOs, there used to be a lot of them coming out really quickly. Now I can think of maybe 3, maybe 4 that are coming down the pipeline, and that's it right now. And I'm okay with that. I've said for a while, I think MMOs in general, the more I play, the more I'm like, yeah, I'm done with this. I think I'm done with the whole, I'm going to grind this, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to try and get to this story point, but before I do that, I have to grind 12 hours in a level. Like, it's just not fun anymore. Before it was community based, you had fun. Now it's just really, really slow and dumb. So who knows? Maybe EverQuest will pull it off and make something entirely new. We'll see.
Hard to say. It might. My concern with anyone that's really just taking the kind of fantasy RPG MMO genre and just saying, all right, we're going to make that different, is, well, lots of people have already said that, and more often than not, they don't pull that off. So,
I mean, that's...
I like the idea of just slapping MMO on another genre. Like, MMORTS. It's like, okay, because that's an entirely new genre. It's like, how do we make that work? But right now, there's already a framework for what a successful MMO does that no one can really emulate. And then there's the outliers that do okay. Like, obviously there's WoW, and then there was, like, 50 billion games that tried to emulate WoW, and they all failed, pretty much. Then you have EVE Online, which is actually successful. Did things completely differently. Differently. And then, no one... Well, there's a couple of games like Perpetuum that tried to emulate EVE and didn't do it successfully. So every time an MMO has kind of struck gold, even struck fucking silver, it's still down to the fact that they decided to do something differently from the start. You can't start, like, this is the problem with, like, the Old Republic, right? It started development, like, 5 years before it came out, when WoW was the big motherfucker. So it said, look, we want to be World of Warcraft in space. And by the time it came out, people didn't give a shit about World of Warcraft in anything. Which is actually why I'm very worried for WildStar, because I have played a lot of that game at shows. I don't have beta access yet, I probably should try and get that, but I'm just not enthralled by it. Like, the world design is great. It's got really cool, colorful characters, animation quality. It oozes polish. Like, it feels premium. But it also feels like it's from 5 years ago. And I don't care about those kind of games anymore.
That's exactly how I felt at PAX. I played it, everyone was like, there was this buzz around it. Everyone was like, you should definitely play this game. It's gonna be great.
Wildstar, yeah.
And I played it, and I was like, it looks like a reskin. Wow, it plays that way. It's very comforting to know that you can get into it very easily, but I don't know that I would want to. I'm like, if anything, if I'm gonna play a WoW game, I'll go back and play Warlords of Draenor.
Yeah, I think that's the disconnect that keeps happening with companies is if you're going to make a game that's so similar to a game that's very successful, people are going to try your game, but in the end, they're going to go back to whatever the best version of that game format is. So, like, EVE is very successful because it is the best version of that sort of a thing, and it's so unique.
Yeah.
World of Warcraft is always going to be the best version of a World of Warcraft MMORPG. Like, it's just, you know, people have to do something different and take a chance on it because otherwise you're a fad, and people are just going to go back to whatever one offers them the most.
Yeah, and that's a real problem because MMOs take a shitload of time and money to develop. So they end up being in this huge problem where they have to predict what people are going to like 5 years in the future. Yeah. Because if they try and emulate what they liked 5 years in the past, by the time the game comes out, nobody gives a fuck. You know, if Star Wars can't succeed with BioWare and that much money, then nothing else can, as far as I'm concerned. Like, the WoW style of MMO is dead. Yeah, WoW is the only one that really remains that is super successful. I would maybe toss Lord of the Rings Online in there. You know, that's WoW-esque. It's doing okay, but we are talking about games that went free to play pretty quickly. You can't do the subscription model and still be a success, and that's what terrifies me about Elder Scrolls. Maybe because of its console launch, it might do a little better. That's one thing that most games haven't been doing, is actually offering a console version from the outset. But some have, like Final Fantasy, and they weren't very... Well, that was Final Fantasy 11, wasn't it? That they brought out on Xbox 360.
It reminds me of, what was the EverQuest game that came out for console as well?
Champions of Narath?
Yeah.
Yeah, was that what like...
That was good.
It's that... Was that the legit, like, it was like you were playing EverQuest? Was that what it was?
No, it was a like isometric hack and slash game. It was fucking awesome.
No. There was a legit...
Then wasn't there just... It was just EverQuest, right?
Oh, EverQuest Online Adventures?
Yes,
on
EverQuest
PS2?
Online Adventures, yes. Like, that didn't do very well. I think there's a weird MMO disconnect on consoles that... I don't know. I don't know if it's because playing them is a little more difficult because you have the controller and you can't, you know, have a bajillion micro things. Like, I don't know. I don't know what it is. But the fact that they're like, oh no, the servers are going to be different too. So if you're playing on a console, you're not playing with people that you're playing, you know, you can't play with your friend on the computer. Mm-hmm. So I don't know that will ever take off. I feel like console MMOs are just not the thing that will happen. Well, I don't know why.
Yeah.
The thing about, like, having a game where you can play on PC and on console, especially when it comes to MMOs, is you've got to radically change the design of your game to make it work. And that's actually what happened with DC Universe. And a lot of PC guys criticized that because there wasn't enough. Like, the UI was quite console-like, and it really still is. I mean, they've made some changes to it since, but they're not that many skills. You can have, like, 6 skills at once. Because you can't have 25 fucking skills because you can't map that to a controller. So they designed the game from the ground up with the idea that they wanted it on PS3, because obviously it's a Sony game, why wouldn't they? And then they also released it on PC. And I think actually that's quite a similar thing that's happening with Elder Scrolls, because my impression of that, maybe you can correct me on this, was there don't seem to be that many active skills. A lot of the combat is just kind of Oblivion-esque.
You do have to pick and choose. It's very Diablo-like, and you have to choose so many.
Yeah, you can't have 25 at any given time, right? You've got to. Yeah. That's the way a lot of those games are going.
And you know what? I'm okay with that because I like the idea of being able to pick and choose. But the problem that I have, and I've told developers this, they don't listen to me. They never. I'm Jesse Cox. They don't care. But it's true. It's entirely true. Is that in games like that, in their mind, in the developer's mind, they see we have 20 skills, but you can only use 5 as, oh, well, think of all the variety of people are going to choose. People are going to choose this. People are going to choose this.
No, they're not.
In reality, people figure out what the best is and then only use that. You made 20 amazing skills or magic abilities or whatever, but you're only going to see 5 in the game. And then they're like, oh, we have to change stuff. So they change it thinking they're going to see more variety, And people are like, well, what's better now? Oh, okay, I'm gonna use this. I mean, it isn't like the old days where you couldn't look up online, so you went with what was coolest, right? Like, oh, that spell looks great, and you used it. It's like now you can Google what are the best things to use if you want to be a really effective player, because you're like, I can't kill this guy, and I want to kill him faster. You Google it, you have an entire spec of how to play your character, and all the things you did, all those hours you put into all of this are for naught now. And so you have to come up with a new, better creative way. Sure, it sounds great on paper, but in reality, it's just you doing, you're just wasting your time. Diablo 3, I'll give them this. They took that idea and said, all right, we kind of get that's what's going to happen. Let's give them runes, so the ones they use will look a little bit different. So even if they are using one spell, maybe one guy's will be fire and one guy's will be lightning. So at least we have some variety. I was like, I'll give them that. Because most of the time, if I have a choice between 20 spells, and I'm a little overwhelmed by like what is good. I know there's something I like, sure, but there's 20. Which of the 20 are good? So I'll Google it and be like, oh, okay, those are it. But everyone else has done the exact same thing. Yeah. And that's the problem. Developers just don't. I love their good intentions. I do. But they just don't see it. None of them see it. And it's like, are you not gamers? Do you not? I mean, you must work a lot on this game. I get it. But you must understand this is what happens now, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I would not want to make an MMO. I'm sorry. There's like, especially when you're trying to think, oh, well, I want to make it playable on console too. Like, how? Like, PlanetSide is probably the closest that's going to happen. And even then, the PS4 version of PlanetSide is probably not going to play as well as the PC version, because you need a monster PC to make that bloody thing work very well at any rate. They've done well lately. They've done some serious optimization patches to it, which really helps the game a lot, but they've got still more to go, because everyone would love to play, full detail 1080p at 60 frames per second, and that's difficult in a game of that scale. You've got a lot of balls in the air at any given time, so it's tricky. But aside from that, I think they've got to be looking into different ways to do MMOs. They've got to abandon this whole MMORPG idea. I think that genre, for the moment, I'd say that genre's pretty dead. As enthusiastic as some people are getting about it, I think that genre's toast. And they got to be looking at other stuff, like MMO FPS. I think that's the next most obvious thing. You can go there, and then the same with like MMO third-person shooters, like Defiance. Defiance actually got a bit of a bad rap, I think, but actually Defiance is quite a fun game. It's like a third-person Borderlands set in the Defiance universe, and it works pretty well for what it does.
Did any of you watch the show? That was the one that had a sci-fi show, right?
Yeah, I watched the first few episodes of it. I didn't really dig it. I didn't really dig it.
Yeah, I heard that it wasn't great, so I was like, never mind.
I decided against it because it didn't seem that great.
Yeah, that's fair. Guys, but for TV, dude, January, February, March, we got the hookup. January is going to be BBC Sherlock Season 3. Mm-hmm. February is going to be second season of Hannibal. March is going to be Game of Thrones.
You are all about Hannibal. I cannot get into that show.
Oh my God, Hannibal's so good. That body design, dude. All the dead bodies are so dope. They're so great on that show.
Well, that's something no one's ever said before. But yeah, I've never seen that.
All the dead bodies are so dope.
The dead bodies are so cool, TB. You should totally watch it.
That's an excuse.
just when it comes to RPGs in general, just the general topic of an RPG, looking ahead this year and what's coming down the pipeline, I went and looked up just some other big name RPGs. And almost every single one is either a sequel or spin-off of an already existing franchise coming up. The big ones people are expecting are the ones that people like Witcher and Final Fantasy and maybe the South Park one, but that's of a big franchise. Elder Scrolls Online, Dragon Age Inquisition, all these ones coming down the pipeline. Another Persona, right? There are very few that are something new. But if you look up adventure or shooter, you get like Destiny, right? And you get The Order 1886. And you get like all these, Watch Dogs is still coming out. You still get all these other games Sunset Overdrive, that one game they showed.
Yeah.
Or if you look up Titanfall, right? And The Division, Wolfenstein's still coming out. You have PlanetSide 2, whatever. You have Warface. You have all these games that are coming out, and it seems like RPG for the moment is, look, sell what we can sell, what people like. We'll write something new later. Let's make games that are more quick to get into, quick to get out of. Where you can shoot some guys and call it a day. You can go on a little adventure and it's 8 hours. And big epic games are sort of on the back burner. Is that kind of what I'm seeing? Or
Well, I mean, yeah, because like the way that typically those companies work is that they sit and they go, okay, what games can we make that we know will sell, that we'll get a lot of money for, so that we can work on this specific project? And they'll have like an idea for a big game that they're not quite sure is going to work out. It's kind of a gamble game. And so they have like preparatory time where they're like, sell this, sell this, sell this. We know people will buy them. And then we'll make this and see how it goes. So,
yeah, that does seem like the way to go with it. I think the 2014 trend that you sort of pointed out there's a lot of stuff there's a lot of games that you just listed that don't necessarily like gel together, but stuff like The Division, I think, is a good example. And if you throw Destiny in there as well, what you seem to be getting is this sort of pseudo MMO setup, right? Where it's got a degree of persistence beyond what current FPS has. Because if you look at persistence like, say, Battlefield 4, right? The persistence is in the character progression, right? There's no actual persistence in the battlefields or anything like that. So you go a step further than that, but you don't go full MMO. Yeah, never go full MMO, because it costs a huge amount of money. There's all sorts of problems with that. And you allow some interconnectivity, and you allow for some mechanics and some persistence outside of just your character, but you don't go full on MMO with it. And that seems to be what The Division is, and that seems to be what a lot of these games like Destiny are suggesting that they will do.
mm-hmm.
Hopefully, a lot of promises being made.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see if any of it's good. But who knows?
Star Citizen, of course, is something that should be mentioned. Star Citizen's such a strange one, because the MMO component, and then there's the separate component, which no one ever mentions. I mean, everyone just calls it Star Citizen, but what was it? The Squadron something? Squadron 42. Yeah. It's supposed to be like the kind of single-player side of it, which will probably be out first, which is just kind of like playing Star Lancer or Free Space. And then Star Citizen is the sort of MMO bit, but it seems like it is, I mean, they are calling it an MMO, but I'm going to be honest, I still do not 100% know how everything works in that game. And I'm not even sure that the guys making it do either.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it suffers from the Kickstarter hype, where it's like, we're going to make promises, and even we don't know that we can deliver on those promises. Yeah. And most Kickstarter games are like that. We're like, oh yeah, no, we're going to do this and this and this and this, but we don't really know how we're going to do it, but we're going to do it. Yeah. And I feel like Star Citizen has a lot of potential, but it also has a lot of potential to let people down. And I feel like a lot of people are really excited for a game that may not be what they want. So who knows? We'll see. I know I put my money in. I'm a freelancer. I have a little card and everything.
Ooh.
I get a little ship whenever I can get my little ship.
Yeah, I don't know really how it's actually going to work. They're doing some like matchmaking instancing stuff with it. And you have persistent ships that remain in the game and things like that. But I don't know if this is like full-on EVE, like where everyone's on the same server, or if there's like a lot of instancing and trickery, or whether it's actually more of a pseudo-MMO than a real true MMO, which I'm totally fine with. I think maybe we will eventually get back to the whole true MMO thing, maybe when server technology's gotten more powerful, gotten cheaper, maybe there's some innovation there, but I think a lot of these companies are moving away from that idea, and they just want MMO elements, but they don't want to go full on MMO because it's so expensive and it takes so long to do, and there's so many technical challenges to overcome there.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird that still, even going into the future, the major concern about what we're gonna get is in that weird MMO space, online games. And it's strange that if you look back 2-3 years, people were complaining about how most games were switching to online. Like, you have to be online all the time. You have to play online. Everything's online. And now people are like, we need better online stuff, which is really funny because, all right, people accept it now, and now we just want better versions of it. Like, if you keep making it, at least make it better. I think that's kind of cool. I like that about it. So here's hoping that that's what we get. And
hope so.
When we do get it, it comes in both console and PC form, because I think that'd be nice. I'd like to find a way to, and it will never happen, but to have console and PC players be able to play together without it being one dominating the other, which usually that's the case.
Good luck. I mean, it depends on the genre.
That'd be really hard.
Yeah, I think you could
well, in
pull
shooters,
it off.
It's like, I don't know if you could ever do that.
You could do it with a melee-based game, like a third-person sort of Devil May Cry-esque or God of War-esque game. You could pull it off with that. Because, honestly, a pad is maybe the best thing to use there anyway, and then a PC user just plugs in a pad and go. You've got to do it the other way around, right? You can't say, well, we want to bring console parity by trying to make the controller as good as keyboard and mouse. You never will. So, abandon any hope of having that happen with FPS. Look at it the other way around. You've got to say, well, we need to look at genres which are good on console already, where maybe the optimal method is actually a pad or a racing wheel, for instance, and then say, okay, we'll now put it on PC, and you can use keyboard and mouse, but you're better off plugging in a pad or a racing wheel. Because good luck getting console players to ever plug in a keyboard and mouse. That's not going to happen. But for a PC gamer, like, plugging in a pad that's kind of normal. Some games just play better with a pad, so you plug a pad in. Or you want to race, so you plug in a racing wheel, or you want to fight, so you put in a fight stick. I think that's what they would have to do in order to really make that work.
I'm trying to figure out, like, what do you think, because you were talking about peripherals, what do you think some of the big things this year coming up would be? Do you think we'll see more Oculus Rift stuff? You think
I think it's got to be Oculus Rift, right?
Or?
I mean, that's got to be the dominant thing in 2014 if the bloody thing actually comes out in 2014. If it has enough adoption rates, and I suppose it's kind of like the 3D thing, isn't it? Because 3D came out, Avatar comes out, blows everyone's minds. And then we get a bunch of shitty 3D movies. They didn't make it from the ground up to be 3D. They just put a fucking filter on it and went.
We're like, people really want this.
Yeah, pretty much. So just whack the filter on there. Like, I remember watching one of the Final Destination movies. I think it was Final 5 or whatever. And that was in 3D. So you can imagine exactly how that was like. It was dumb as fuck. Like, shit flew at you at the screen all the time. There was one moment that I did like where I think someone like got impaled through the mouth of this giant spike. The spike came right on the screen up to your fucking face, which was actually pretty cool. But you can tell they didn't do that from the start. They took the movie, they realized, oh, we better do it in 3D. I could be entirely wrong here, by the way. I should probably wiki this just to make sure. But how easy will it be to convert an existing game to Oculus Rift and actually have it be good? Because if they end up sucking, then the Oculus Rift is going to suffer as a direct result of that. And it's kind of the same as with 3D gaming as well. Because when 3D gaming came out, the games weren't designed for that either. So they were just kind of crappy filters. It's like the 3DS. Who the fuck uses the 3D on the 3DS? Outside of a game like, say, Super Mario 3D Land, where it's actually useful.
And
it drives you crazy.
And it also drains your battery. It's like, what's the point?
It often halves your frame rate as well, especially on the earlier titles. Like, I've got the Dead or Alive Dimensions, and it's like, 60 FPS. Turn the 3D on, 30 FPS. Well, I guess that's an easy choice.
Never mind.
Especially in a fighting game. I mean, holy shit, why on earth would you do that? But I think that's what it really comes down to. How easy is it to make a good Oculus Rift mode for existing games? Because if you have to create something entirely separate, problems will happen.
Final Destination 5 was shot in 3D.
Ah, okay. Fair enough then. I'll give him credit for that. I'd love to see a list of those that were just converted to 3D later and those that were actually shot in 3D.
What was the one? It was one of those. We're gonna find a really hunky dude and reenact an old tale. That was such a good description.
What now?
I'm sorry, what?
What was that movie? Oh God.
What? Are you talking about Hercules?
Find a really hunky dude
I can't remember.
and reenact an old tale.
I'm trying to remember what it was.
Conan the Barbarian?
No.
Okay, so I've actually managed to find a list, by the way.
He was awful. Okay.
Wiki has a full list. Filmed in 3D or rendered in 2D. Filmed in 2D or rendered in 2D. In that column are actually, like... Superman Returns, apparently, was filmed in 2D, and then they converted it to IMAX 3D in post-production. Nightmare Before Christmas, but some of the Harry Potter stuff, and then eventually they filmed some of that in 3D. Alien Trespass, yeah, actually that's pretty much all of those. Alice in Wonderland was filmed in 2D.
Mythology, that's the word. That's a word I should have used.
Are you talking about Clash of the Titans?
Was that one?
Yeah, that one was filmed
2D
in 2D, then converted. Yeah.
That was the one I went to see.
And it was dreadful, I assume.
And it was awful 3D, yeah. The 3D never, ever, ever came into play once.
Piranha 3D was actually filmed in 2D, ironically enough. It's like, what? You called your movie Piranha 3D and you filmed it in 2D. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I love it.
It's like, I don't know if any of you saw the new Hobbit movie in 3D, but I'm so over the 3D fad that 'cause I saw it in 2D and in 3D.
I saw it in 3D.
In 3D, everything that comes at you on the screen in 2D is not even there. So, like, a really good scene is when he pops his head up out of the trees and all the butterflies fly. On the 3D, like, millions are flying towards the screen. There's all this stuff going on. In 2D, they just fly away. And it's like, so do they just add this for like, it really doesn't add anything to the movie.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, there's a bee flying towards the screen. Like, it really doesn't add anything.
Yeah, I don't hate 3D in some situations. Like, there are times when it actually brings something kind of nicely out of the frame, and it looks quite nice. It's a nice effect, but they often overdo it.
I agree.
The best one was Dread. Dread 3D.
Yes,
was amazing.
They did not overdo that. There were just a couple of scenes that they did that were really, really good, and they didn't overdo the rest of it.
When everyone got high on the drug,
it was the drug scene
so
that they
fucking
really
good.
employed it, and you were just like, I feel like I'm on drugs too. This is weird. It was awesome.
I'm not gonna lie. I've said many times, if that was an existing drug, I would be in trouble. I was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, the combination
really
of the
cool.
3D with the super slow-mo scene was just incredible. The visual fidelity of that film was great. But was it I didn't so much have an argument with Angry Joe about this, but Joe actually recommended not to go and see Pacific Rim in 3D because he said the fucking rain gets in the way. Like, as a result of the rain...
it does rain in pretty much every single scene.
It is dark
outside.
and rainy in every scene, yeah.
Exactly. So, and honestly, I was a bit worried that because I knew it was going to be a very bright film. Like, because I saw the trailers, like, look at all this fucking color. I didn't want it to be dimmer, which it probably would have been if I went to see it in 3D, because they often have to dim it, which is not so good. Right. So I went to see it in 2D, and I was totally happy with that, but I don't know, maybe I made a mistake there.
The one thing that I had a problem with that was in 3D. I mean, we were very close, so luckily for us, we could see everything because it was so dark and so much was happening in 3D that you're right. 3D movies it's a little dimmer. I don't know why that is, but it was very dark. And so when it finally got to the end and it was light, I was like, yes, finally we can see a battle. And they go underwater. I was like, son of a bitch.
I know.
But
Pacific Rim.
It was still wonderful, so I'm not even
Pacific Rim was wonderful. Yeah, it's definitely hard to argue with that movie. We will shill for that movie till the end of time.
I don't know, man. I might shill for the Warcraft movie. And the more I keep seeing people who are in it, actor-wise, I'm like, it may be.
It's like half the cast of Pacific Rim in there. It's like,
yeah, it has a lot of actors that are in some of my favorite movies. I'm like, oh no, Blizzard, they are catering to the Jesse Cox vote. You already had me. You don't have to do this.
we had that weird moment with Rob Kaczynski when we found out, oh yeah, he's going to be in the Warcraft movie. But, you know, of course, the backstory of him is he played WoW, he listened to Blue Please on WoW Radio, and he watched Jesse Cox's videos. So, like, well, this is a strange turn of events.
If there's anyone who makes me feel like an old man, it is Rob.
Yeah.
He's like, I listened to you guys when I was younger. I'm like, oh, shit.
Isn't he older than me? Like,
I don't even know. And I'm like, oh,
all right, I'm looking it up now. He better be older than me. I will be really sad if he's not.
Oh, I love him.
I'm going to be seriously sad.
I had no clue.
He's the nicest dude.
Because he linked.
Yes, he's older than me by a year. Woo!
He linked that they were casting for the WoW movie, and I was like, dude, you need to be in that. You need to be in that movie. And he's like, oh no, I am. I was like, what? Like, that's how I'm actually okay with what they're doing. It could be a horrible movie. I'm not gonna lie. Most video game movies suck. It could be awful. But with that said,
I just had a thought. Idris Elba as Agra. The best casting choice, clearly.
There's so many. The guy who, oh my god, in Shawshank Redemption, the guy who is the guard, who is also the voice of Mr. Krabs, in SpongeBob, is in the movie as well, and he has such a deep voice. I'm like, I don't know who that guy's gonna be, but he's gonna be an orc of some sort. Like you can picture where people are gonna be, and I'm like, this is great.
That guy's
really
gonna be an
excited
orc
about this, and so I'm who knows? This movie may suck, but with that said, they are put in place like people who play the game and people who know the universe and people who are willing to do it like on the cheapsies to get like I just want to be a part of this. It might be like 5 years too late, but still the fact that they're like, if we're gonna make this, we're gonna go full crazy with it. I'm behind that. I like when people do that. Like that's why I liked Del Toro being like, you know what, I'm going full crazy with Pacific Rim. F it. I'm like, I can get behind that. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's very exciting for me.
We should all be in the Warcraft movie.
No.
I just want to be in the background getting murdered. Can they just have my head?
That's what I mean.
At some point? I want
Just
to see
like
my head fly
rando
on screen.
extras.
I see you as a Pandaren, Jesse.
Can my head still get cut off? Oh, they can't kill pandas. The Chinese will be pissed off. Whatever.
I'm pretty sure they couldn't actually release it in China if they kill pandas.
Right? Whatever. Who knows? I'm trying to see what's coming down the pipeline at CES because I know that's where a lot of the tech will show up of things that like in the future.
There is something I'm excited about in 2014 actually. Big fucking leap forward for both CPU and RAM. Something that I saw. The Halo platform for Intel that was posted about quite recently. So this is a report that came out. It's actually Tom's Hardware got a hold of this, I think, in June, but there was some more stuff about it. Basically, the Haswell E, which is the Haswell Extreme stuff, eventually became the Halo platform. And it's true 8-core Intel machines, right? And they are comboing that with DDR4.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
They're also talking about pretty serious shit like 40 lanes of PCI Express Gen 3. So when you're talking about like using powerful cards in SLI, you're talking about getting the fucking most out of them, like not having them throttled at all. All of their enthusiast CPUs being unlocked from the very start, so you can do whatever the fuck you want with it. Quad channel memory with 16 threads, which apparently will hugely help you with encoding. Like it'll make encoding videos much, much faster. And that I think is going to be a really, really big jump because Ivy Bridge E, I was looking at the stats of it versus my current one. I run a 3930K, which is not like the top end, but it's fairly high up in the previous generation of Sandy Bridge Extreme CPUs. And I looked at Haswell and like, for $1,000, this 7% performance increase sure probably isn't worth it. And this stuff, it looks fucking insane. Like, this is like worth building a new PC for.
Can we, and I know this is something that probably a lot of people do know, but for people out there who don't have a clue what you just said, can you go, because, you know, when people hear Halo and DDR, they don't think computer parts, they think video games.
Yeah.
Dance Dance Revolution.
Yeah. Every now and again, like these CPU manufacturers will release kind of this idea of a platform, as it were, which usually means more than one piece of kit put together. Yeah. And AMD did it a few times. I'm trying to remember, like they had something called Trinity, I think, at one point. I think they also had something called Spider. And it generally means these components we are claiming are going to work really well together. Yeah. In this case, the Halo platform is their latest 8-core CPUs. Yeah. So the Haswell Extremes, yeah, for 2014. Haswell's the code word. Like before that was Ivy Bridge, before that was Sandy Bridge. You know, they've always had code words for their CPUs. And also DDR4 RAM. Yeah, currently you're probably running on DDR3. So they're looking to release the next generation of RAM, which is DDR4. And that will all be on a new motherboard socket, yeah, which is probably going to be called X99. So you can't. A lot of things that we're talking about, you can't just shove them into your existing
RAM,
PC. Yeah.
You're gonna have to build something entirely new.
Yeah, because it's a new chipset, it's a new motherboard, it's a new socket, which means you're gonna have a new motherboard, new CPU, new RAM. You can use your existing graphics cards, but that's the platform. That's the three parts of the platform: the motherboard, the CPU, and the RAM. That's my understanding of it. And
the reason why it's so exciting is because the things they've done in the last year. When you look at the increase, it's like 7% 8% for $1,000 more.
back.
It's insane. Why would you spend that money? But now they're saying, we're going to give you something that's a big increase, and it's the next generation. Enjoy. And so that's why a lot of people are like, oh,
Yeah.
okay then.
Yeah, and so far, Haswell doesn't actually have any enthusiast-level CPUs. Like, if you're just gaming and you want a quad-core, Haswell's fine. Like, you can get a Haswell CPU and it's probably fine. My laptop runs on Haswell and it's, it's great. But if you're wanting to kind of really power game and really kind of be a power user, you look towards all the Extreme Edition stuff, the enthusiast level stuff, because you can overclock it better. It's got more physical cores. So if you're like us, you encode a lot of video, you want to have more cores, you want to be able to you hopefully stream better and all that other stuff. So that's kind of exciting. That should be a pretty big leap forward. Although, it also depends on whether or not games actually use all the cores properly. More often than not, they don't, Right now, like, if you look at it gaming, and it's like, oh, should I get a quad-core or a hex-core? You should get a quad-core, 100% of the time. Because not only will you pay fuck a load less for it, it won't make a damn difference. Because most of these games don't even use more than 2 cores. Because they're badly optimized.
And a lot of people in chat are like, oh, man, I just upgraded. Here's the thing. We're talking about, this next generation. A year later, there's going to be an even bigger improvement on that.
Yeah, you always have just upgraded. You always
you'll
have.
never get the optimum system. It doesn't exist.
Don't
always
chase
something
that.
Immediately better. So if you just upgraded, rather than freak out and be like, oh, man, I need the next one, if you wait another year later, there'll be even something better. And then you can get that one and be the envy of all your friends then. So you don't stress over it. It's one of those things where if you can get it, go ahead, do it. It'll probably be worth it. But if you can't, really, you're not going to miss out on anything because most games won't be able to use it all to begin with because everyone's trying to keep up with the consoles, not the actual PC.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
People are nerding out so hard in the chat.
Yeah.
Let's talk about DDRs and GDDRs and all the...
it's GDDR5. Like, yeah, it's... I've got to be honest. I don't really know... I don't really know the most of the differences. Like, I used to keep up with tech a long time ago, but that was when we were all running single-core CPUs, and I was overclocking my AMD 2500 mobile Barton, which was, like, designed as a mobile CPU, but it ended up being a really good overclocker because it ran on lower voltage, but it ran at the same speed, and I was freaking out about DDR2 and all that shit, and it's hard to keep up with it right now, and it's funny that we should talk about this in the year that maybe the Steam box comes along and simplifies the whole fucking lot of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's probably the biggest 2014 thing is Steam box coming down the pipeline. Who knows what that will do?
It's literally the thing that I am interested in the least when it comes to PC gaming because I see a limited amount of usefulness for it, but...
That's what I'm saying. I don't get it, but everyone's talking about it. Everyone wants it to be a thing.
Is the streaming gonna be better? Like, because if my NVIDIA Shield for $250 can stream 1080p 60, which it can, from my PC to my TV, what is the Steam box gonna do that works better than that?
Make it affordable to do that?
Well, that's...
Maybe.
200 is still pretty... I mean... I don't...
Okay, here's the thing. Here's the problem with the Steam box, right? And, and... The thing is, like, Dodger's right, but also wrong. Because the Steam
Story of my
box...
life.
Yep. The Steam box is fucking weird, because half of the Steam box's kind of marketing thing is, oh yeah, we're going to standardize things. We're going to make it easier to buy a PC that fits in a good case, and, it's just going to make the whole PC buying experience better. And then there's the bit which is like, well, you can buy this little Steam box, which is also kind of a streaming machine. So from your main rig, you stream to that, and you can play, like, your PC quality games on your TV with this little kind of media PC that does streaming. And it's like, well, these are two different things. These are two completely different things.
Right.
So how on earth how do you rationalize the two of them under the same kind of brand? Mm-hmm. That's what confuses the shit out of me. And then, as people have accurately pointed out, well, why don't you just get a long HDMI cable? It's like, yup, that's not a bad idea. Long HDMI cable, a wireless controller will get it to you. Or plug your fucking laptop in. We had an amazing Steambox experience where the missus got her laptop, plugged it into the TV, and played Outlast. And I was like, this is the future. Like, no, we've been able to do this for a long time. So I don't know if... Half of the Steambox seems to be good because it's like it's solving a problem that's there. The idea that PCs are difficult to buy. They're expensive. You don't know which components to use. There's lots of components, which makes development more difficult. And then there's the other half, which is like, is this solving a problem that doesn't exist? And which are you which is it? Which are you prioritizing here? You know,
because I seem to recall that was a problem 10, 12 years ago, towards the late 90s, when everyone was like, when things like Dell and all those companies were really, really big on the PC market. I'm trying to Gateway, things like that, where people were like, buying PCs is confusing. And so they got sold prepackaged PCs by companies.
Yeah.
And
which
that fad vanished. Yeah. They were never, ever good. They gave you just what you needed to do stuff, and they were filled with crap you didn't need. And so, that fad ended, and now people who want PCs buy PCs like, I'm either going to make it, or I'm going to have someone else build it for me, or they get a laptop. And the laptop is you get what the laptop gets. Other than that, I don't know where this fits in, because most people who want a PC, who don't really know much, just get a laptop because it's portable, it's convenient, it has everything they want. And the people who want a rig for gaming or for doing big stuff get a tower. And they have it put together because they know exactly what they need in it. This is a weird market where it's like, we're going to give you a gaming thing for people who don't want to actually do the work to make a gaming thing, but it's our what is the market for this? I don't know who this is being sold to. And I said that from the beginning. I don't get their, who are they targeting? Is it console gamers? Because they have consoles. Why would they need this? Is it PC gamers? They have PCs. Why would they need this? Who is this for? I don't know. I have no clue.
It's a very hard thing to explain because there's so many different ideas going under the banner of Steambox that it's not a unified approach. If it was a unified approach, it would make more sense. If it was just, we are making a machine that is designed to stream gameplay from your main PC. It's going to be better than everything else out there. It's going to be affordable. It's going to be in the shape of a fucking companion cube. It's going to come with free hats. And you're going to get Steam discounts if you use it. And that was all it was. I was like, I totally get what you were trying to do. And this will probably sell really well. But at the moment, I'm like, what are you guys doing? And the controller throws another thing into the loop there as well.
And I want to play with that controller so bad. And
I want to try that, yeah. I absolutely do want to try that. And SteamOS is the same thing, because they're saying, they specifically said SteamOS is designed for the TV. Yeah, okay, but you're sending out beta test boxes with fucking Titans in them. So I thought were you talking about something that goes under the TV, or you're not talking about something that goes under the TV?
Yeah.
And is the controller, I assume, is for the TV. Okay, that's cool, but you're not gonna sell $2,000, $3,000 machines to people that are sticking it under the TV, surely. I mean, is that what you're aiming for? That would be a bit of a jump.
And if it is, because chat's saying, oh, it's definitely marketed for console users. If it is marketed for console users, the blowback from the consoles will be huge, because if suddenly all the games they were selling on a console, which is their own thing, are now like, oh, well, no, I'm going to play it on the Steam box, and I'm going to play these Steam games, they will be like, fine, you can play on Steam box. Enjoy waiting like 3 more months for the game. We're going to have it first on our system. Suck on that, Steam.
That might actually happen. It's already happening with some companies. I'm sick of it. The running joke with Assassin's Creed is, so when's the PC version coming out? All right, when's it really coming out? Come on. And every time they delay the fucking PC version.
Grand Theft Auto 5. I mean, that's a perfect example. They're like, maybe we'll do PC. Who knows? Sure, maybe. And I think that's one of the things that's going to happen more and more is people who are used to Steam having all these great games they can play in console. Well, now I can play it on my PC. It'll be great. They might get screwed by the fact that Steam's like, okay, let's enter this new market. Because those console guys, they do play Game of Thrones level hardball. Get ready. Get ready.
Oh, yeah.
They'll be pissed off.
Nope.
Yeah. And
that'll be the true console war right there. It's not fucking Sony versus Microsoft. It's fucking Sony and Microsoft
everybody versus
PC.
Valve.
Yeah,
I think that'll be interesting.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily looking forward to that. Like, that doesn't sound like a very good idea. That sounds like less fun. I think that over 2013 we've had pretty good PC ports. I think it's been a pretty good year for PC ports.
Yeah.
We've had some really good ones. And they've come out at the same time, and everyone's been happy with it. And it seems like console manufacturers are just happy to allow that kind of status quo to tick over. But right now, they've got new boxes to sell. They've got money to spend on exclusives. They're even warring with each other over fucking DLC. Like, this DLC comes out first on Xbox. Like, come on, really? And then if PC suddenly is like, hey guys, yeah, we're competitive too. It's like, fuck you, you know? And they both say, right, okay, well, we want exclusivity on this game for this amount of time.
And that's the big thing, because even though in our world, the world we live in, PC games are what we play and it's how we do videos, because it's just easier for us. In the grand scheme of things, the PC market isn't nearly as big as the console market when it comes to video games. Like selling, like Steam's huge for a lot of us, but for most people it's not. And when Steam says we're going to interject ourselves into your world and steal some of your market share, the guys in charge are going to be pissed off. And they're going to be like, let's put this shit down now. And it will happen. Just watch it. I mean, if that's their goal, is to steal console users, the consoles that exist, the brand new consoles that have no games on them right now who are going to want to have games, they're going to be like, no, we're going to have the games, and you ain't going to have jack shit. Enjoy playing the indie ones that you get. And then at that point, it's like
I don't know if they'll price themselves out though. Like I don't think they could necessarily afford to do that. There's so many AAAs coming out in 2014. The amount of money they would have to actually spend to keep that shit off the PC for any degree of time. Because if they're doing that, they're not going to say, "Oh well, it's only the PC. Sony can have that." Microsoft's not going to do that. They're having to not only pay to keep it off the PlayStation, but keep it off the PC as well. Which, I mean, it would be hugely expensive. Not only that, it would make them really unpopular, you know? If they did that, then, if they like, aggressively did that, I would probably just say, fuck it, I'm just junking my Xbox One then, because as a company, I think you are being colossal dicks here, and I'm not going to support you.
Mm-hmm. But then, and I guarantee they will say, yeah, sure, there'll be some people like that. But most people, what are they going to do? Go play a Steam box? Champagne. Like, I don't think they'll care. And this is the same thing they do all the time. They weigh what will affect them more. And a lot of the time, they look at people and say, they'll get over it. Same thing with DLCs. Everyone complains, yet they still make them because in the end, people buy them. And they're like, they got over it. They don't know what they want. They're kids. Look, they're all high on the marijuana. They don't know what they want. And that's literally how most of them look at gamers. They're like, we're fine. And I feel like that's what, sure, they'll release it on Steambox or on Steam, but it'll be down the line. They'll get their time with it, and they'll be like, and it's what they did with Nintendo. Like, I feel for Nintendo when they're like, we're going to have all these games on Wii or Wii U. Most of them are games that have been out for months on every other console, and no one bought them. Because what the hell? Why would I buy it on your system?
Okay.
And on launch, Wii U had jack and shit. And that is unfortunate. So...
Although it's actually a machine that has some decent games on it now. No, not enough yet for me to fully recommend it, but this is kind of changing the subject, but hey, it's a podcast about video games. We can talk about video games. I played Super Mario 3D World, and it's fucking great. And I don't like Mario games. A lot of people
said it's great.
Yeah, we had our team captain and our assistant manager over for a few days for Christmas. So he came from Korea, and she's actually been living over there in Korea for the last few months. So they came over, and obviously we sat down with my kid, and the four of us played Super Mario 3D World. And I was like, this is... Yeah, there are cats, and the game is really, really fun. Like, the levels are very well designed, they're very well paced. There's some weird stuff in that game, like, some really creative things. Like, there's at one point where, even if you're playing 4-player, you have to hand the gamepad over to one person, and the level fucking rotates when you do. So, and you have to actually stand up, look at the screen, and spin a fucking round as you're standing up in order to beat that level, to twist the level round so you can get access to everything.
That's the kind of creative thing that the Wii U can do. And that's why it's silly that the Wii U games that exist are ones that Nintendo is pretty much like they're doing it themselves. And that's Nintendo's. That's where Nintendo's stuck.
Yeah. Well, I mean, right now there's Monster Hunter and there's Wonderful 101, which are like, and there'll be Bayonetta 2 next year. Admittedly, that's getting published by Nintendo, but it's being made by Platinum. So for some reason, Platinum's like, I like the Wii U. We're gonna make games for you. I was like, but Platinum, they won't sell any. We don't care. We're fucking Platinum. Let's make some games. Yeah, none of our other games sold either. We don't give a shit. Yeah, we're funded by the secret Bitcoin Illuminati. But
They exist. Don't
They're
mess
real.
with them.
Oh, they
they
do.
exist. They are real.
Yeah. Someone's pointing out in the chat, and I agree with them. Like, the level design of Super Mario 3D World is fucking awesome, and the co-op is really good. There's this one level where you're riding on this fucking dinosaur down a white water rafting thing, and you all have to kind of cooperate, and it takes all of your inputs into account. Yeah. So
Jump at the same time, yeah.
yeah, jump at the same time, kind of lean at the same time, and you're kind of fighting with each other. This is like the last few Mario games on those systems have always done this. The reason why we call it like Super Asshole Brothers is it's got this competitive co-op going on with it. It's like it's a co-op game, but really the games encourage you to constantly dick over the other guys as you're doing it. And they even like in this one they even give a crown to the guy with the highest score. But if they get hit, they could drop the crown, someone else could steal it, and it gets them bonus points and stuff like that. And you can pop their bubbles over a spiked pit and kill them and squash them and run ahead. And it's really quite awesome. And I've got to admit that, for someone that doesn't actually usually like Mario, that was fucking great. And I'd love to show you footage, but Nintendo are a bunch of dicks, so I can't do it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nintendo, you make great games, but you don't understand YouTube. Come back when you do.
Oh no, that's right. I had dreams of playing Dynasty Warriors Zelda. Now I can't.
I don't know. You might get away with
it.
I don't know if it's just the stuff that they're doing, or if like because it's Tecmo Koei doing it, right?
Yeah.
So maybe
Yes.
Tecmo Koei
Bandai.
is actually the ones that own the footage for it. In which case, you're probably okay. But yeah.
Oh man. Oh, see, I think 2014. There's a lot of great games. I mean,
I'm actually looking forward to
really-
seeing what comes out on the Wii U 2014. Like, if it actually gets a few more good games, I'm still, I'm playing Wonderful 101, I'm playing Monster Hunter, and I'm playing Mario. I'm like, great. Well, the other consoles aren't getting any. I haven't played my PS4 since I got it back. So I'm like, I could play Killzone. I'd rather not. I could play Resogun. Oh, yeah, I played Defender 30 years ago. Maybe not. So, it became that fucking machine became my Crunchyroll machine. Because it had Crunchyroll installed by default. Like, let's watch some stupid anime shit with this. And then my Xbox became my Netflix machine because it's got the best Netflix app.
It does. Xbox One has the best Netflix. It's so easy.
The voice search that integrates with all of the apps that you have is great. It's like I search for Superman Returns. Why I'd ever want to do that? But it then says, "Oh yeah, you can watch this on Netflix and things," and you just like press 1 now to go there. Like, that's.
On Tuesday, Josh Mattingly was over, and we were filming stuff, but I was, like, showing him one of the things on... I was showing him the crazy achievements for Netflix on Xbox. It's like, this is insane. And so, while we were there, he's like, can you talk to that thing? I was like, yeah. So I started talking to it, telling him to do stuff. And one of the suggestions it had is, do Xbox go to Bing, right? And so I said, Xbox, go to Bing. And nothing happened. I'm like, Xbox, go to Bing. And nothing happened. It would do everything else but go to Bing. I was like, even the Xbox doesn't want to use Bing.
Yeah, that's actually wrong. You do Xbox Bing,
amazing.
and then you say what you want it to search for. So it uses. I don't know if you've got like one of the newer Android phones. They have the Google Cloud voice search, which is actually incredible, by the way, and the whole dictation. Actually, I dictated a full email to someone from Blizzard with my fucking phone, and it got every word right. It was shocking.
Awesome.
What?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it uses good like Google Cloud stuff to figure it all out, and Bing does the same thing on Xbox. So you say Xbox Bing Superman Returns, and it will do a voice search for that. And
I thought
then
we just open a browser. I was like, Xbox, go to Bing, because it does everything. I'm like, Xbox, go to input code, and it's like, okay.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
oh,
like
this is-
input a code. Isn't it like scan a code or something like that you can use for that?
Literally, you can say, like, Xbox, I have a code, and it's like, bring. It's like, put your code. You can literally
That's
just
the
say
best.
anything.
We done. Like, wow, that's great.
Yeah, and it was, and the fact that I was just like, Xbox, Bing, Xbox, go to Bing. And I'm just getting really pissed off, and Josh is just cracking up. He's like, he doesn't even want to go there. Like,
You
Xbox,
missed out on a
Bing.
golden. I hope you filmed that because you missed out on a golden opportunity if you didn't.
Oh, no, I totally missed it.
That's
It was just
that's good
upside
high
down.
quality non-content. Krendor would be
It
very
is.
upset with you.
It is.
I went to Amazon to see whether or not Xbox Ones were still like back ordered, and when you search for it, it has $499.99 with it crossed out as though it's going to be like on sale cheaper, and so instead of $499.99, it's right now $499. like $499 instead of $499.99. They were like,
Bargain. Now is the time to buy
it's a
it.
deal.
That's a deal.
Killing me.
Oh, yeah.
Again, right
mean,
now, there's no reason to really have it. Like, again, Dead Rising 3, I couldn't even tolerate because the frame rate was so low and all stuff like that, and the controls are so clunky. Like, how you make Dead Rising more clunky, I don't know, but they fucking pulled it off. So I've not been touching that. I've just used it for Killer Instinct and Peggle 2. That's it.
I mean, I right now, yeah, it's basically it's hooked up to my computer, and I'm just like, you know what? Let's go to Twitch, or not Twitch, but Twitch. God damn it!
I'm sorry. I'm just looking at the chat. Xbox, go to Bing. Xbox.
You know what I mean? That's stupid service that plays.
I'm sorry, that's
Jesse's
one of my
angry
favorite,
voice.
like, JonTron moments ever.
Xbox.
Xbox. Xbox. Xbox.
They're one of our favorite stories ever, and this is you were there, Dodger, and this is one of my best JonTron moments is when he does Smash Brothers and he is Falco. He'll scream, "Landmaster!" It's so funny. That's it. That's all I wanted the world to know, that you should tweet him, "Landmaster!"
Oh. Don't harass the poor guy.
He'll be like, "What the hell is this?" That's all he needs to know is Landmaster.
Oh, I'm sure your name will come up in plenty of those tweets.
Nice.
He'll know exactly where it came from.
Xbox. Bing.
Xbox. Xbox.
It doesn't work. The Xbox.
It doesn't understand your stupid angry voice. That's why.
Xbox.
Xbox Bing.
It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work.
Oh dear.
How about we get that technology? We were promised flying cars and jetpacks. We don't even have that shit. Get talking technology down.
Where's the Jetsons going, man?
Yeah. I was told we would have sex robots by 2025. We are sorely behind.
We're
behind. Actually not. Like this year they
Whoa, what?
No, did you not see the article about in Japan, like they're working on the hand job robots right now? Like which actually going with the Oculus Rift.
That is the laziest robot. That is of all the possible robots that you can create. That is the lazy man's robot.
Well, I mean, you have to spend a lot of time.
I can't be bothered.
You have to spend a lot of time to make sure that it doesn't, crush you.
Rip your genitals
there are
out.
a lot of things, they gotta make sure.
That is the absolute worst possible robot of all the things Japan could develop. That's what they chose. Of all the possible sex bots, they're like, let's do the hand job bot, and it's just.
It's a good place to start.
You gotta start somewhere, right? Would you trust them with the blowjob bot more? God knows. Like, think about it, the number of gears that would be in that thing. Like, the possibility of an accident. Oh.
Horrible.
Rip and tear. Oh God, why?
God, that is just a sad.
I may have made a horrible mistake.
I assume Japan's on this. I'll give them a few years. I assume they're onto something. My favorite article of 2013 was learning that in Japan they have a sex problem, where something like 46% of women and like 60-some% of men have no interest in doing it with each other, but they do like robots and anime girls, and also they have a problem. I've offered to go over there and help fix it, but they have rejected my offers. So,
can't imagine why.
It explains a lot, though. So if anything, Japan's gonna fix this all for us. We just need tentacles. Also, I just disconnected.
No, you didn't.
What?
No, you didn't.
Here.
You're right here.
Oh my God, Japan! They tried to hack me.
You're here.
Now I'm
You're
back.
right here, bro. Relax.
Dude, my entire system just.
Here. It's okay. Jesse.
Can you hear us?
Jesse.
I can hear you fine.
Okay,
I can hear you fine.
You're here.
We're good now.
Relax.
Okay.
Relax, bro.
Sorry, I'm just all worked up over that hand job bot. I just can't. Woo!
Oh God.
Hi, Mom. Thanks for watching.
The things we are looking forward to in 2014: the hand job bot and the Oculus
Hand
Rift.
job
There you
bots.
go. That might
Handjob
very
bot
well be the worst thing.
and Witcher 3. Buy them together. Coming this spring.
The deluxe edition comes with it.
Yes.
I'm okay with that.
Then you integrate
Wasn't it-
Connect with that.
What was the name of the penis controller? I'm trying desperately to remember what
Oh,
it's called.
man.
It was a Juicy?
The
the
juicy
Juicy?
controller, yeah. How did they spell that? I'm just gonna look up penis controller. Just a penis powered controller. Yes, there we go. And they added Oculus Rift support to it. Apparently,
Good, right?
Yep, I think that's very important.
Oh,
Shut up.
JU-C.
Yeah.
Juicy. Juicy Air, actually. It's called the Juicy Air.
Is it super? Is it because it's lighter now?
It's lighter now, yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Dear God, why?
I'm okay with all this.
Let's, for the last 20 minutes of the show, let's talk about the games we're looking forward to in 2014, because we kind of didn't.
Yeah.
We talked about everything
Okay.
else but.
EverQuest Next.
Yep.
Hat in Time.
Hat and
Oh,
Time.
you're still on the Hat in Time thing? Is that coming shortly soon?
When's that coming out?
They're another one that doesn't have a release date.
Oh,
but
so
they're-
Kickstarter then.
It's
Yeah.
2014.
Yeah.
No big surprise there.
It looks so good, though. It's so cute. Hotline Miami 2.
Ooh, the hotline.
What about you guys? Fill in the space while I'm
Okay.
thinking.
All right, Titanfall.
Oh, that's easy. Titanfall, yes.
Definitely
Oh, yeah,
Titanfall on
Titanfall
PC.
looks very good.
You know, definitely
Witcher
looking
3
forward to a shooter that is not the same fucking shit over and over again. You know, I like a shooter that is based on movement. That was kind of what Tribes was until, well, Hi-Rez didn't do so great with it, and some of the community didn't do so great with it either, and then Hi-Rez kind of ruined it and abandoned it, so... But it might be coming back, because apparently the source code, well, the SDK got out there, so now people can mod the shit out of it. So you never know, it might be a thing yet, but I'm looking forward to a FPS where your movement options are not limited to aim down sights, run, or fucking dolphin dive. You know?
Absolutely. Oh, new Sherlock game? Sherlock Crimes and Punishments? Comes out. When does that come out?
Oh, that's the vitally important.
Hey! I love those games.
Transistor is definitely one I'm looking forward to. That's going to be awesome.
I'm like I said, definitely looking forward to Witcher 3. I think that's probably one of
I
the
hate
best games
Witcher
to beat
2.
this year.
And it takes so fucking long to beat Witcher 2, though. I need to sit down and just take a week and beat it.
Plus, since they added the new updates, they made the game, the ending more fleshed out, and so there's a bunch more leading into the new game, which I think is cool.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll see what happens with Watch Dogs. I'm still excited for that. Hopefully that still lives up to the hype when that comes out.
Yeah. I feel the Watch Dogs hype definitely died down quite significantly after they delayed it.
Oh, yeah. But
that
Metal
might be
Gear,
for
I'm
the
not
best.
going to lie. Metal Gear Solid 5, I'm in. I'm not even going to lie. It looks so over the top silly. I'm in.
Yeah.
They just keep getting weirder and stranger, and I'm always ready for that.
I'm excited for Persona 5.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
That should be good.
Absolutely.
I'm interested to see how The Evil Within turns out. I think that's supposed to come out this year.
I think so.
Oh, yeah. Did you see the video preview at E3? Did you
No,
see
I
that?
didn't get a chance to see that, but I know you did.
I had the best audience. It was literally myself and then like 50 people from the Yogscast. It was so weird. I walked in, I'm like, what is going on here? And it was just the Yogscast there. I was like, oh, okay. So it looks like old school Resident Evil. It looks and feels like Resident Evil before they made all the changes to Resident Evil, and I'm okay with that. Plus, the trailer they showed is one of those things where it starts and you're like, oh, it's just a crazy insane asylum, and then he walks out at the end and the world is destroyed and you're like, what just happened here? And it's that kind of thing, that little Losty vibe where it's like, oh, is this some Twilight Zone shit? Like that, I'm in for. I'm in for that. So I'm excited for that too. That'll probably be a big game. Oh my god, there's so many games coming out. Hold on. What else is there?
Danganronpa might come over here this year.
Final Fantasy 15, does that come out this year? I'm not gonna lie.
I believe it's
I don't
supposed to.
I'm down for the potential of that game being good. It looks bonkers.
So
and
far,
bonkers
it
is
looks
good.
okay. But again, I don't know if I can trust Square Enix Japan. Like, I will trust Square Enix EU and US, fine. But Japan, don't know. This is still the company that brought out Final Fantasy All the Bravest, so I don't know if I am ready to trust them again yet.
Yeah. I don't know. It looks like it has the potential to be something different than what they've done in the past, and I'm okay with that. I like the fact that it looks like they're going a different direction. So
They need to.
I'll take it. Yeah.
Holy shit, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, oh man, there were so many games that I saw that I was like, that looks really good. I think what is Bayonetta 2 will be fun.
Yeah.
If you like the first one, you'll like this one, I assume.
That thing was my game of the year in 2010. Like, and I stand by that because I think Bayonetta is the best of that genre that's ever been made. I really do. It's that fucking good.
It's one of those games that's really, really weird to play, but once you get into it, you're like, no, this is fun. Like, it's just a very strange, silly, over-the-top game.
The depth
and
of
I'm
the
glad
combat
that those
system is
exist.
just insane.
Yeah, I like that. That's one of those like, yeah, no, it exists. Enjoy.
She has
enjoy
rocket
playing.
launchers on her feet.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
And I like that they don't hide the fact that like even on the giant poster in the Nintendo area, that was my favorite part of the Nintendo booth, was just an ass.
Just giant
It
ass.
was happy Nintendo products and then ass. And I was like, you know what?
All right.
Thank you for this. I felt it.
Although not literally.
I mean, yeah, she's not real, so I mean that'd be
Just gonna make sure that's the case.
yeah, no, that'd be strange. I mean, you're just
It's paper.
guys.
It's paper.
It's not real.
I'm kind of
That
looking
ass
forward to
is
Dark
bad.
Souls 2 if the PC port doesn't suck
Yeah.
this time. Like, if it
Oh,
comes
God,
out,
I
it's like,
forgot
oh, this
that
is
was
60
coming
FPS
out.
native, and it's
that
good.
too.
Great. It will be... Because Dark Souls, I definitely liked it, but I never got into it as much as I did Demon Souls. Like, I beat Demon Souls. Dark Souls I did not beat. And I kind of just lost my train with it after a while. And then, like, getting back into Dark Souls after you lose your sort of way in it is just not a thing you can do.
Right.
So, we'll see. I'm going to wait and see what Dark Souls 2 is like. I hope it's good on PC. If it is, fantastic. I'm looking forward to that. Another PC game, actually, is Age of Wonders. Age of Wonders Shadow Magic is one of the best turn-based games ever, and you can get it on GOG, and it's so good, and you should. But Age of Wonders 3 is actually looking really good. So, Notch actually is publishing this, right? He threw a ton of money at that game.
Huh.
If I recall correctly. I want to just double-check that that's the case.
I'm trying to figure out what games are coming down the pipeline on Steam, but they have their damn sale up, so I can't even see it.
Don't even. Like,
I was trying to
I
figure
hate
out
going
what
on
like
Steam during the sale.
The full version, like the actual finished version of Among the Sleep, is supposed to come out
Ah.
soonish. Trying to think what else is on here.
I'm trying to think
I
what-
just
I'm
more looking
looking forward to
games that-
Infamous. I'll go out and definitely say that.
Second Son.
Yeah, I like Infamous. I like the Infamous series. I think this one looks really like it's the first game I think on PS4 that actually looks next gen. Really nice fire effects, really cool physics, particle effects, and Infamous is always fun. So I'm definitely up for that.
Are any of you excited for Thief? I'm so curious about this.
I am really concerned about Thief. Like, I'm very worried.
I was very excited.
I wanna
and then
play
I saw
it,
the trailer. I was very excited. I saw the trailer and I was like, this is very Dishonored. Like, it feels like it's in
Yeah.
that, like, I've seen this and done this before.
Yeah, but that's dumb because if it is very Dishonored, that's not what Thief ever fucking was. Like,
Right.
Dishonored... The problem with Dishonored is, like, if you get seen, you could just fucking murder fools with magic and swords and shit, right? If you get seen in Thief, you're probably fucked. You can maybe take down one basic guard if you're good at swordplay, but any more than that, and you're just gonna get destroyed.
Yeah.
And that's what made Thief really good, because it was a true stealth game. Dishonored actually wasn't. Like, Dishonored's like, kind of like...
It gave you the option.
Yeah, it's like Splinter Cell.
Yeah.
In the same place. Like,
Deus
you can
Ex,
do...
where you could...
Yeah, you can do full stealth, but we're going to make it totally viable. You don't. And I like that, but I think that there's a concern that Thief will not be up to its predecessors.
Yeah. I don't, we'll see. We'll see. I'm really curious about the things that aren't even on the radar that are going to blow up.
Yeah.
And that'll be fun. I think that'll be cool. Is things that just show up and like,
I don't know,
oh, that's
yeah.
a new thing now. Everyone's gonna play that.
Yeah.
We'll see.
To be unusual, I'm going to say Golem Arcana, which
I'm
is...
sorry. What now?
Golem Arcana.
What?
Or in the US, Golem Arcana.
I'm not even sure.
It is a...
Wait, have we?
What is that?
There was a Kickstarter for it, which did succeed, and it's by Harebrained Schemes, the guys that did Shadowrun Returns, which I think was pretty good. And they're making a miniatures game for a tabletop miniatures game that uses a stylus to scan in information from the miniatures, and like basically it does all of the, you move this shit around the table and all the calculations and shit it does for you, and it does it to like a smartphone or an iPad.
That's awesome.
It's pretty cool. I like, and some of these miniatures are fucking huge. I did the Kickstarter for it. I got the basic set, and I bought like one of their big ones. I think it was like one of their Titans, which are these fucking huge things. And that seems like a lot of fun. I've been really getting back into board games and stuff lately. So.
You didn't get the Colossus though. You missed out.
I did not get a Colossus. No, I got a Titan. I think. We'll see how it turns out, and if it ends up being a fun game, then I'll get a Colossus. Those things are huge, like absolutely massive. But they've got this like proprietary patented stylus thing that scans information in. And the miniatures look amazing. I love the art design. I was just
gonna say, these are beautiful.
Yeah, they're absolutely gorgeous. The one that's got the kind of Egyptian theme to it is the one that I went for. Yeah, I mean, I suppose you kind of call them Egyptian. Durrani Codex is the one that I got. They actually look a lot like the guys from Bayonetta. A lot of the angels from Bayonetta. But they've got this...
Urugo. The, like, bone ones.
Oh, yeah, those ones look great. But that game looks like it could be great, and obviously I love tabletop stuff, and I want to play miniatures games, but I don't want to fucking build them, because I don't have the time, I don't have the patience to paint them, and these things come fully painted and everything. I'm like, yeah, let's go. And I've been looking for a collectible miniatures game to play that doesn't have all of that groundwork. I just want to play a miniatures game, and Golem Arcana looks like it could be that game. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, there's so much here. Wow.
Yeah, looks really good, but I hope they don't fuck it up. They met their Kickstarter goal, so I assume, but they only just met it, and I'm always worried about the games that do that. Because if you only just get there, what do they have to cut back on, you know?
Right.
We'll see. Yeah, that looks like a lot of fun. And I hope that there's just more cool CCGs and more board games that come out. And obviously, like, porting them to iPad as well. The fact that I can play Lords of Waterdeep and Agricola on my iPad now is fantastic. Because I needed to learn Lords of Waterdeep. I actually own the board game, but I haven't learned it yet. So I'm like, oh, I'll learn it on iPad. That will make it a lot easier.
So much cool stuff coming down the pipeline. I'm very excited about this.
Yeah.
2014, I'm excited for you.
2014 UI.
Yeah, you're pretty okay, 2014. Looking pretty good. Now, like most of my relationships, in about a year, this could be. I could be looking for a
Horrible
newer
disaster.
model.
Yeah, looking for 2015 right there. It's like, 2014, you looked good. We had some good times together, but at the end of the day, you ruined my life.
Look,
so,
yeah, you took a year of my life, 2014. Just like at 2013 and everyone before you. You're all the same.
yeah.
Mark Fleet, thank you for tweeting me about when Danganronpa comes out, because I didn't know.
Oh, and Dragon Age 3, I guess everyone's excited for. I didn't even think about that.
I don't know if I trust them. I don't know if I trust them. You know, I loved Origins. I think it was an absolutely phenomenal game, but Dragon Age 2 sucked. So I don't know where they're going with this.
Yeah.
It might be okay. It might not be.
We'll see. I don't. I think it's funny that none of us thought of that one. Like, of all the games, they're like, meh.
Oops. Oh, well.
Yeah. Oh,
I want a good 40k game, and that's not happening right now because they're giving the license to random people, and I hate it. They need to stop that. Games Workshop, for the longest time, has protected their IP, like, in a really militant way. And then this last year, they decided, you know what, we're going to give the 40k license to a bunch of random fucking companies to make versions of our games, and they've all been shit so far. Like, Space Hulk is terrible. It was a really, really bad implementation of it. There were so many things they could have done with Space Hulk, and they just fucked it up. And then, like, they gave Chainsaw Warrior, which is a game that wasn't fun in the first place, It's like, play this on PC. Like, no, it's boring. Why would I play Chainsaw Warrior? And it's like, God, wait, can I have... Why can't we have another Space Marine? That was actually a good game. Or why can't we have, like, a Fire Warrior, but good? Like a first-person shooter. Like, or another strategy game that's not Dawn of War. Or just anything. Anything that's not card games. Like, okay, I like card games, so Space Wolf might be okay, but really, you gave it to a random mobile company. Who is it that's making Space Wolf? Like, I'm pretty sure they don't have a particularly good record.
I want you to figure out this is actually a company that's really, really good.
I hope not.
I'm
usually right
like,
about
what?
this. I am usually right about this shit. Let me... It's all Games Workshop stuff in here. This is no good. I mean, it's a card game. It's a deck. It's apparently some kind of deck building game, which I'm fine. I'm okay with. But who is making this? HeroCraft. Okay, what did they make? Please be good.
HeroCraft.
Well, they're a mobile developer. That's a start. HeroCraft. And they're Russian. Great. Right. This will go well.
You never know.
Yes. They have made sweet fuck all of good. Like, they made a game called Ice Rage on Android.
Ice Rage!
Never
The
played
most
Ice
intense
Rage.
single-device multiplayer you've ever had. Ice Rage was... Oh, God. Oh, it's that one! Yeah. The Ice Rage is this. It's a single-device ice hockey game. Like, this is who they gave the 40k license to. Like, I'm sure this is okay for what it is, but I'd prefer a developer with some actual experience that wants to make a AAA game. This only has one button! Like, come on! Virtual controller, one button. Awesome 3D graphics. Like, yeah, if, PlayStation 1 was your jam.
Ice Rage!
Ice Rage!
Ice
Like,
Rage.
what else did they make? Please tell me they made something good. Catch the Candy! Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what's interesting about this is, like, I think they're the ones who made their Wikipedia page, because all of the article links actually link to a YouTube trailer.
Just all of them? Every single one of them?
Yeah, all of them. Catch the Cat. This is, like, some weird hybrid between pinball and fucking puzzle platforming.
That's what the kids want. The kids want it.
Like, it's
Pinball.
I just,
all day, every day.
I just want a proven developer to get a hold of the 40k license. Like, I'm worried about Eternal Crusade. Like, I'm friends with the level designer because he does the Dark Heresy show with us, and I'm still fucking worried that it's not going to be very good.
We'll see.
Make a good Battlefleet Gothic game. That would be great. Or Gorkamorka or Necromunda or fucking anything. Something.
No.
The Space Wolf
We're
card
not
game.
gonna do it.
No.
We're gonna make Bone Town instead.
Yeah, Bone Town 40k edition. In the grim darkness
Bone
of the
Town
far
40K.
future, there is only boning.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Just
We are
all
the Bone Marines.
40k armies just banging each other. Bone Town 40k.
That's usually how all the figures end up anyway when you put them away.
That's true.
It's all in weird, like, getting it on positions.
It's
I mean,
getting too
pretty much
fancy too
everybody
fast
at
here.
work that has a lot of figurines, when I walk by, I try to make them touching butts, so.
It's true. It's true. Happy 2014, everybody!
I'm just
2014.
depressed about 2014 now. I don't want to go to 2014. It'll be bad.
It's too late.
Like-
It's here. It's here, man. It's here.
Are you looking forward to another year of microtransactions? Because holy shit, have we got those.
Totally.
Don't be so cynical, TB. For one night of the year, be optimist, Biscuit.
No.
And look forward to the new year and all of its joys.
It will be terrible, like it always is. It will be full of microtransactions and fucking pre-order bonuses and
Don't
bad
worry.
PC ports and
Don't-
free-to-play
but
games
but
and
maybe
mobile
just
ports
this one year,
and in-app purchases
all the
and
peoples
Mountain
of the
Dew
world
promotional events.
will get together and hold hands and sing songs. Maybe.
and it'll be full of YouTube bullshit and publisher bullshit and copyright issues.
But maybe just one day this year, you'll look into the mirror and say, TB, you're doing okay. I love you, buddy. Maybe that will happen, and then all the problems will fade away.
No, they won't.
Into the West, like at the end of Lord of the Rings. And then Annie Lennox will come on and sing to you. That'll be it. That's who sang that song, right? I hope so. Hi, welcome back, Dodger.
Hi.
Happy
Fortunately,
New
that
Year
voice
to those
is
in
piercing enough that I can
France.
hear it without the headphones on.
Yeah. To those on Central
Oh.
European time, Happy New Year. To those in Britain, you gotta wait another hour.
Suckers.
Yeah. Well, that was probably the worst show of the year. So let's wrap it up.
Yay!
Perfect.
What's coming?
Perfect.
What do we have coming over the course of the week? Dodger, are you making videos?
I'm making videos again.
All right. Yeah, I'm doing that. I'm gonna be doing that. People said I was dead. Like, oh, I didn't make videos for a week because I took a Christmas holiday. That means I'm die.
It's because you died. Yeah.
I'm die.
I'm gonna be uploading the stream, and I'm also playing More Always Remember Me, and this time we're not gonna end up all alone.
Did you really play a game and then ended up failing your game?
Yep. My first attempt at that love sim. In the end, all of the dudes that I could possibly be with, like, married beautiful women and left the town, and I was all alone.
Here's the thing. I feel like... What? How can I say what I think nicely? I feel like that's...
I would suggest that you don't say it nicely.
I feel like you earned that. You earned that.
Oh, yeah?
You
You don't
earned
think
that.
I deserve love? Jesse!
Oh, no. You deserve the love between a woman and her cats. The slow, incessant insanity of love between a woman and her cats.
I have that love. I already have that.
There you go. We broke TV. Yay!
Yay! Happy New Year!
Oh, shit.
So yeah, playing Love Sims, me trying to figure out Monster Hunter, and more Dopeness the Witch, and yeah, just games. And then on Dexterity Bonus, I do daily vlogs, so that's what I'm going to be doing on that channel. And you can find me on all of the socials at DexBonus, DEXBONUS. Ha-cha-cha.
Ha-cha-cha.
Ha-cha-cha. There we go, did it.
There we go.
Jesse.
Happy New Year.
Jesse.
I mean, the usual. You guys know what happens on my channel. Fun, excitement. And today, literally right now, as soon as it's over, I'm uploading a Cox Family Christmas, and it's legitimately hilarious.
Oh, dear.
And so by the time you see this on the VOD, it will have already existed. So if you haven't watched it yet, go watch it. It is 15 minutes of hilarity. And my dad dances. Guys, I can't even describe to you how silly it is. So you should watch that. And then just other fun stuff. And then in 2014, I have a new show idea that is really, really good. And it abuses all my friends. So it's great. It's fantastic. So that's coming down the pipeline. I can't tell you about it, though, because you're the internet and you'll steal it. So, mwah!
It's true.
Stay tuned,
We'll
kids.
steal it.
Yep. After I'm done with the stream, I am going to release Trade Chat versus TotalBiscuit in the Hearthstone Polaris tournament.
Wow!
Yeah. So people have started releasing their videos from the first round, so like, fuck it, I'll put mine up then, I guess. We will not wait. So that's coming out.
So how badly did you win?
Lol. No, I think it was a good series. I think people will enjoy it. It was a lot of fun. So that is coming up soon on the channel. That will come out today. It's actually ready to go. Fuck it. I'm gonna release it now.
Whoa!
Yeah, live stuff, doing things live, interactivity.
Crazy.
Interactive, live.
Well, it's a few days old for anyone who's not watching it right now.
Yeah, if you're not watching the VOD, you're not getting interactivity. Sorry.
Yeah.
But I understand. I just released a video. You can go watch it now on my channel, and it probably won't be in your sub box yet, so don't fucking talk to me about your sub box, because it takes time to go to your sub box. Just saying.
Nope.
Nonsense.
It's like, well, as soon as I tweet a video, I immediately tweet about it, and then it's like, it didn't appear on my Soapbox. Like, it's not gone there yet. It's going to like 1.5 million people. It takes time. It takes time. Calm down. Yeah, that's now out. You can go watch it on my channel right now, youtube.com/cynicalbrit. Aside from that, I am getting back to work on the next couple of days. I took a week off for Christmas, as is the way of things. I'm getting back on. What am I actually going to do? I actually don't have a clue. I've got some games that should WTF is, and I'm doing Speedball with Lumin, I think is my first opponent tomorrow. So
And his tails.
He's Skaven, right? Yeah, I think he's playing Skaven, actually. So it's going to be Skaven versus Goblins in a match of who gets injured the most, I think. So that will go swimmingly, no doubt. If I can get the chainsaw to some of his valuable stuff, then it'll be fine. But if I can't, things are probably not going to go well for me. We'll see how that one goes. More WTFs. Content patch will be making its return once there's news, so we'll do that a few times a week. We're not doing it every day right now because there's just not enough news to justify it. So that's that, and yes. Dodger, what the fuck?
I'm sorry. I linked to a GIF of a nest of spiders, like, running in all directions.
Why did
you do that? That's so weird.
In chat. They're little daddy long legs. They're not gonna hurt you. But it's so funny because it looks like just like this weird patch of hair, and this person pokes it, and these spiders just like all around. And I just posted it in chat because I wanted to see the response. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
You used to be cool.
Yeah.
I was never cool, Jesse. You always say that, and that's not true.
I'd also like to remind people that I am doing Dark Heresy on Saturday, the roleplay group with JP, In Control, DJ Wheat, and the lead designer of Eternal Crusade, who we will blame if the game ends up being terrible. So that's on the 4th of January? Yep, 2014, on Saturday. You can watch that over on twitch.tv/itmejp, and on YouTube after that. But yeah, nice. So that stuff. And I'll try and stream a bit more, but obviously, like, not today, because apparently it's not a good day. I'll give my ISP... give my ISP a call on New Year's. That'll work well. So it's probably just that they didn't even bother to be useful, but probably not.
They're not around.
So it'll probably be fine, but that's what will happen, I guess. I think.
That's it, guys, that's it.
And also, I might just for the hell of it, I might release the full uncut videos of me and Cry murdering every last one of you. Because I have all of them. So I might just put them all out.
What is this?
Chivalry, man.
In the tournament? Oh, yeah. I'm like, am I dead right now?
Yeah. It's like, who wants to watch everyone else? You know? Like, I have all of the videos of just me and Cry killing you. There's some hilarious... Well, I wouldn't say hilarious. I just gotta be very careful not to put it up, because there's like... because we do the sync up, and then like we had to wait for like 10 minutes, so we just start talking about how terrible everyone on Polaris is, and it's like, we should probably not upload that.
Wow. Friendship over.
Yep, that's done. That is, it's the end of the year, it's the end of our friendship. There is no more podcast.
No more secrets. This is the year of no more secrets.
Can we end with this? Can we say, look, fine, podcast over?
Fucking hell.
For a week.
Jesse, you've been ruining everything for years now.
You know what? I'm tired of carrying this shit. All right? I'm the only one who comes up with topics. Behind the scenes, I come up with all the topics. I'm the one who does all the work. And then just end it.
Dodger, I'm fucking sick of the fact that you never say anything ever, and all you do is sit there eating soup all the time and wearing fucking stupid hats. But everyone's okay with it because, oh, isn't she adorable? It's like, no, she's fucking unprofessional. She's insufferably annoying and doesn't contribute anything. Oh.
Have a great new year, everybody.
God damn it. God damn it, Dodger.
End.